And we welcome you to another edition of This is Wrestling. It's Lever Sage, the Palatial Estates here in Ashton. Look who's decided to join me. I need you to tell people, Zach McGibbon, why you're home this week.
Just in general, why I'm here?
Well, yeah, like home in Ottawa, not necessarily here.
Right.
But I need you to tell the people why this week you decided that this is a week I'm not going to work.
Well, initially in my incredible genius of trying to plan for time off because I needed it.
Right.
I thought this was going to be the May 2-4 week. And because, I figured in the name May 2-4, you would think that the date of May 24th would be involved in that. But apparently not. It's apparently whenever the first week of May is. So
not the first week of May.
Well, it's supposed to be. It's the third week of May, I should say. And the third week of May was earlier this year because the first week of May technically was during the week of April. Anyway, all that to say, I took my time off a little bit later than.
So let me get this straight. Yeah. And we welcome people to the show. We're going to talk about Double or Nothing. We're going to talk about Saturday night's main event. We're going to talk about a massive show coming to Montreal. Zach was at C4 on Friday night. So we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we have a lot
because
to talk
I know you want to talk about Becky Lynch and Sol Ruca. So we'll get to that as soon as we possibly can. But incredible that you put in for time off Tuesday through Friday, correct?
Correct.
I'm just picturing like being your boss, like I am here at OSN, right? Like,
yes.
Like Zach, do this. Zach, do that. I get the request for time off. I look at it like Tuesday to Friday. That's kind of weird. Like on a week that you're supposed to work Monday. Do you think he meant, I'm going to let him figure it out?
Yep.
Is that what your boss did? Because your boss would not, like nobody would have taken Tuesday to Friday off. Especially with the week before that was Tuesday to Friday.
Yeah.
And your boss just was,
I guess he just wants a Tuesday, Friday. Well,
who am I to question Zach McGibbon?
Well, that Monday was also a council meeting, a Bevel council meeting. So I think my boss just assumed that I wanted to do the council meeting on that Monday before I head off. Don't look at me. I don't know why, but
sorry, if that face was why you would want to do a council meeting, that's what I was trying to portray.
Yes. Yeah. I thought maybe with it being, again, the Malon weekend, maybe it was like, oh, Zach took the Raw time off. That seems a little bit
you
odd.
would think he would have asked you.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this Tuesday to Friday, why not just do the Monday or whatnot? Right. I didn't get that ask. No.
I actually think that's incredible from your boss. Getting it, knowing he probably meant the last week.
Yep.
But screw him. Like that.
That's what he said. That's what he wants.
Like, tough. Yeah. I'm just going to listen to him. I don't know why he wants that. MVB is with us because he's a man. Such a man.
William Regal, baby.
Oh, the man's man.
Real man's man over here.
Steven Regal. Man, we got a lot to talk about, like I said, between AEW, Double or Nothing, just a lot going on that show. And then some announcements. Again, so you came up. I also want to just make sure that people know that. So you came up for Friday, went to C4.
Correct.
Stayed around Saturday, but then went back because, Zach, nobody could do the voice of the Quinty Skyhawks. Is that right?
That is correct. I came back to do the Quinty Skyhawks U16 and U18 football games on Sunday.
So you are, just so people know, the PA announcer for that.
Yes.
Not necessarily like on TV.
Nope.
Like in the stadium. So like a mouchoir happens, like a penalty flag.
Yeah, that's right.
What's your call?
Penalty on the play. Mouchoir.
You say mouchoir?
I take a lot from Sudsy whenever I do the PA announcing. I don't say the mouchoir.
Incredible. You don't?
No, I just all
There's
I've been
not
told,
as many francophones in Belleville.
Shockingly, no. Okay. They don't really travel down. But no, a lot of it is usually like first down calls. A lot of it is, who caught the ball, who threw the ball. We're really not, changing. We're not creating the wheel here when it comes to the PA announcing, but And it's funny. You asked me to give like what a touchdown call will sound
No,
like.
first down.
A first down call. And then you said, I thought it'd be more. And I'm like, well, Lee, I don't have my like coming behind me after I yell first down. And
but that's your time to shine.
Yeah. I don't have
another Guardiola first down.
Yeah.
Like you got to lay into that.
I don't disagree. I just also have sound effects in the background to really like put it over the top. I do need gimmicks to kind of get me over. So that's what's going on.
Richard is in perfect timing, boys. He's got a 30-minute drive to D&D night with the guys. I'm late for it. This will be perfect for the road.
There you go.
So D&D Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
I have to admit, like I was never a Dungeons and Dragons guy. I kind of wanted to be, but never got into it. But I don't hear a lot of people still doing the D&D like now. And Richard, you've got kids, correct? He's got kids, doesn't he?
I think so.
I think he's mentioned.
I think he's mentioned he's had a kid. Yep.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, yeah. This is something that we have been trying to take down, and it's just chaos in the palatial estates.
No, that was big. That was huge.
Triple H making the run in on Randy Orton or whatever. You remember that angle where he broke into Randy's house? He had the sledgehammer. He's like, "I'm gonna get you, Randy."
That was big. I had a big fly.
Yeah,
I had let in a big fly, like one of those ones that makes the noise.
Yep.
Like, and it goes by right in your ear.
Very agitating.
Yes. And it was in here. I'm like, as soon as we start, it's going to come out. And then I'm going to trap it. Like I have 2 doors to come in here.
Yep.
I'm going to trap it between the doors if it ever goes in that room. Tell me. And all of a sudden I heard it. I saw it. And I'm like, I got to go. I got to get it. But I just always want to know, like if Richard has a significant other, kids, and like, how is it like with the kids or the partner going? So it's D&D night, eh? Tuesday night?
Hey, depends. Depends. I know that there's some, like, it's a full commitment to D&D night. It's funny. Like I know people that do D&D. Like you, I never really got into it. It's something that like kind of piqued my interest at first. Like, it's kind of cool to be able to create your own adventure and whatnot. I'm sure there's some D&D people that are here. He's like, oh God, these, like, when as a wrestling fan, you hear somebody talk very casually about pro wrestling and they're like, who I think is the greatest pro wrestler of all time? Hulk Hogan, right? And then you're just like,
thanks for reminding me. The Hulk Hogan documentary is going to be out soon. It's not going to be very positive.
No.
So
be prepared for that. But I imagine it's the same way for like D&D players when we try to. I like when you get to create your own adventure. You get to create your own character. And they're like, oh my God,
cringing.
it's more than that.
They're cringing.
Yes.
I know. There's nothing worse than somebody talking about pro wrestling that doesn't have any idea about it. And you're just like, no.
Was he a good wrestler? Was Stone Cold Steve Austin a good wrestler?
Stop.
Hey, he's only one of the greatest pro wrestlers of all time. It's okay.
I always think about I used to go by, and you would know, like Hogsback here in Ottawa. For people that don't know it, it's a bit of a park like at the end of Carleton University, and it goes down, there's a beach, but there's all these kind of little like areas, grass areas that you can go and kind of chill out. And I swear, like I just went across like 4 Sundays in a row, and there was like full cosplay, like people in suits and
really
like like get up and doing everything in the field, like so much so that I really wanted to pull over and like
ask a couple of questions
and just find out what it was.
Get your own suit and join in.
Well, that might be a bit much. I think I'd like to observe first to see what it was.
Make a run in.
Let's start before we get to Double or Nothing. The announcement came out today that July 26th at the Bell Center in Montreal, because the whole world, by the way, revolves around Montreal. Between the Canadians and Formula One and like wrestling and
if you want to include the Victoire winning as well.
Oh, for sure. Like it's just every night, like, oh, what's going on in Montreal that the hotel rooms are $700 tonight? See, MVB, sorry, LARPing, live and direct. What does that mean?
I've heard the term LARPing before, but I couldn't tell you, unfortunately.
See, we're not that cool, Marcus.
No.
Okay, we don't We don't know. But the announcement, AEW Redemption on July 26th at the Bell Center in Montreal. I have to admit, I am like super pumped, especially after watching the last few pay-per-views to kind of the quality of what they have been, like what we're going to get in Montreal. I can tell you that This Is Wrestling will be going.
Let's go.
Yeah. And a bunch of us will be going. Oh, live action role play.
Ah, yes. LARPing. There you go.
Yeah. But when you put it all as one word like this, LARPing.
Yeah.
Like, I think you got to differentiate it, like capitalize.
Put some periods in there to
LARP something.
Yeah.
To differentiate it.
Yeah. I do think LARPing though is more of a, I don't want to say common term, but I do think people know what that is, but we're one of the weird ones that don't know what it is. Emphasis on weird.
Marcus knows live action role play very well. So, hey, we're all wrestling fans.
That's right.
We're all wrestling fans.
Yes. In a way, wrestling is kind of that way.
But in Montreal, which is a great city to be able to go to a big event when people come in like this, and the one before All In, I'm jacked up. In fact, they don't have a pay-per-view in June, do they? I don't think they do.
No,
they have the like beach breaks and the the special dynamites and stuff.
Yeah, when is the Forbidden Door show?
That's that's in June.
Yeah.
So they do have a show. You're wrong, Lee. Which is like you won't be able to say that on my predictions. So say it now.
I mean, in the main event,
no,
yes.
Like I'm wearing the shirt that made me a perfect winner.
It did not make you a perfect winner.
I picked MJF.
You picked Darby Allin. We could go back and play the tape. You know
what's wrong with your headphones?
I can't hear you all of a sudden. I tried to do the dial up here and I can't hear you. So that's why. If you could hear me, that's okay. Obviously,
that's okay.
Right in front of each other. We're right in front of each other, so I can.
Well, why can't you hear me?
I don't know. I put on the headsets. I don't know which one it's plugged into or whatever.
What do you mean? Could you hear it before?
A little bit. Then it started to. So we'll figure it out. Here.
Like just figure it out now. Is that
yes? Only a little bit of live troubleshooting.
Maybe I have it plugged in the wrong one.
How's
that?
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah, see,
that's much better.
I need you to hear me loud and clear. Okay.
Yes. I was trying to like slowly adapt and try and make it seem.
Oh, you were very professional.
Yes.
Others would have gone, I can't hear you. But so July 26th, I believe, as we sit here on Tuesday night, the pre-sale is going to be on Thursday and general public Friday or Saturday.
I think so. Yes.
We're going. And if people want to go and let us know, we'll try to include you. We will definitely have a meetup.
Yep.
Like I'm super, super pumped about this.
Yep.
Just because of the card. Okay, Double or Nothing. We'll start with that. We'll get to Saturday night's main event. We'll get to C4 as well. But Double or Nothing. I can tell you that my first reaction to watching this show was how unbelievably good it looked on television. Like Arthur Ashe Stadium, and that the way I was a little unsure about the scaffolding, but then it's okay, it's the New York set. But once they started showing different like angles, it made me as a viewer want to be at the show. Like this is a venue. I can't believe people haven't run this venue before. That's what I thought. Like when this is going on, I'm like, I can't believe people. The crowd was hot all night too. All night, like every match, which I thought was incredible for the crowd to be that hot for that long. It was again like 4 hours and 15 minutes. I know I didn't get a lot of sleep on Sunday night into Monday. I'm sure a lot of people didn't if they had to wake up early, but it was worth it, I think. What'd you think of the venue?
I love the venue. I thought it looked so good. As soon as I tuned into the show, I was like, wow, this venue is unreal to watch. I was blown away, and it kind of goes back to as well. I thought some of the production work from AEW this time around was noticeably a lot better.
I agree.
Usually a lot of their camera work is pretty lackluster. They miss stuff quite a bit, but for whatever reason, this edition, maybe they were just so locked in But boy, I thought the production work really helped to emphasize just how big it felt to watch. Because it's 15,000 people. That's a lot of people. But it's 15,000 people in a stadium environment, and it just makes it look bigger on screen and on TV. So, and as you mentioned, the crowd was hot, and it was cool because you could tell, because even though it looked like it was indoors, it was also technically outdoors. And so it was a little chilly there over in New York. So you saw some people's breaths a little bit as it was going on. It was,
wrestlers, especially.
Yeah.
After they finished, they were coming back down the aisle and you saw their breath. I'm like, ooh. But that's probably perfect for them.
Yep.
As opposed to it being like really hot.
Yep.
So I remember going to, and I think I told you, the Jacksonville and being there. And again, it's in probably a little bit more open than Arthur Ashe Stadium is, but it's sort of an enclosed structure in the concrete with holes in the concrete. It was freezing. And I know like that's a little bit complaining cold in Florida. Oh, how cold could it have been? Like it was really cold.
Yeah.
Gotta get Marcus's thing off. Come on, Marcus. But like to the point where I needed a sweater, like a blanket. Like I went in thinking, oh man, Florida, it's gonna be great. So yeah, you could tell that the wrestlers were I don't know, like I don't think it affected them. I think it made them feel like, hey, if we work really hard, you can kind of catch your breath. I don't know. For me, like if I ever do something where a physical activity, the colder the better for me. Right? Instead of it being really hot.
Yep.
Sorry, update here. Richard says, yes, I have kids. Significant other does not like D&D night since I'm gone the entire night, but generally speaking, I do bedtime, but it's the once every 2 weeks that I go out generally. A little late on the replies, but it's not legal to text while driving. Good thing I have autopilot. And by that, I mean red lights. Okay,
there
good.
You go. Try not to get in trouble there.
I have to tell you the best thing that's ever happened. It's like when I get in the car now,
and
I'm very fortunate to have a newer car that has voice to text in the car. Like, you know this too. On the best of days, if you text me, it could be an hour. It could be like today, you know, I was at work and then carry the phone in work, but like it could be, you know, right away. It could be an hour. It could be 2 hours. If I
play a game a little bit, you throw it into the ether and you see what happens.
Exactly. But you get me in the car, I like
bang.
Texts are like, you know, pages long.
As soon as I see the text, like, oh, Lee's in his car. He's got the voice to text.
Oh, yeah, it's great because I just give paragraphs.
You can see the train of thought as it's going through.
It's amazing. I love it. Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, okay. Richard says my next character in D&D is going to be Minotaur cleric who used to be a murderous, insane war chief, but has since repent and regrets what he did, but still kind of likes that. And of course, he's going to talk like a wrestler. I'm thinking probably Macho Man mixed with a cow.
Macho Man mixed with a cow. See, there you go.
So, and you and I were talking. If people haven't seen it, maybe we can, I don't know, somehow give them a link or something. Will Sasso and who was it?
Dan Soder.
Dan Soder. We're on with Chris Van Vliet, and it did go viral for a lot of people. But man, oh man, they started doing. Oh God, who were they doing the quotes from?
Yeah, they were quoted. I think I was gonna say Mickey Rooney. I think was one of the quotes that they had, but it was also another one that it was
somebody like in the 70s, like a TV star. But anyway, they were doing it, and like Soder doing Macho Man Savage is just insane.
It's so bang on.
But they did Hogan, Savage, Andre, Jesse Ventura. Those are the four that I remember. But man, it was like people that are not wrestling people are texting me this. Like, have you seen it?
This is so good,
right?
I Sasso's Jesse Ventura, and of course Soder's Macho Man is just incredible impressions. It's so good.
So one thing I did want to point out before the show started, I'm not a buy-in guy. Don't like 0 hour. Don't like any of these things. I mean, I happened to get to our colleague. Hopefully, he's still our colleague. Nice of him to show up every once in a while. The super fan Ben Sublier went over to his house and got there like with about 10 minutes. And I was chatting with his wife upstairs, talking some Formula One, and he's like, "You're missing it. You're missing it." And I'm like, in my mind, I'm going, "What the hell could I be missing?" Honestly, like there is nothing that with a bad knee that's going to make me run down those stairs. But it was Mick Foley was on.
Yep.
And then Darby Allin was there. And then Mick Foley started talking to Darby Allin.
Yep.
MJF was out on the pre-show. And for me, I don't know why we don't see this more often. Zach, so let me get this straight. In the last 10 minutes before the show, they put out the two guys in the main event, plus a very familiar Mick Foley in AEW for the first time. What a novel concept to sell the show. Here's the guys in our main event. And then put them with Mick Foley. And Mick Foley gave Darby Allin a bit of a pep talk speech.
Yep.
Like a do it for the Gipper.
Yep. Win one for the weird ones.
Right. But it was good. Like,
yeah.
That's how you are selling. Like, yeah, they had Costco guy on again, I think.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
They bring the boom, Lee.
I didn't see it.
We're still doing the Costco guy, the Lear of Our Lord 2026.
Why?
I don't know.
We like AEW probably more than WWE, and I say probably would like for sure.
Yeah.
But
after that Saturday night's main event, yes.
But come on. What is Costco guy still? And what are some of the wrestlers doing? Like putting him over.
I know.
And his kid over. Like, what are we doing?
I did get a message from somebody that listens into the show, and I will keep a pin on it for one of the matches later on. It's like, it's harmless. I'm like, I'm gonna bring back the WWE red into the AEW red here.
No, and this is where I try, and at least to be fair, we do pile on WWE, and deservingly so right now.
I was gonna say deservedly so.
But you can't just go by the things that happen on AEW. Like Costco guy and his kid are out like for a year.
Yeah.
It must be a year.
I think it's been 2 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I don't watch the 0 hour. I don't watch anything like that. So
apparently
never really seen him.
Apparently he attracts people from the TikTok, so for all I know, that's why he's still the opener and having this feud, and the Rizzlers, outside doing the chin gimmick, like having his, he's looking like, oh yeah, I'm the Rizzler. I'm going to rizz you up because I'm the Rizzler. I'm 9, I don't know. I was enjoyed it for the first little bit because it was goofy, but it's gone on way too long at this point.
I've never enjoyed it, but I did want to make a note that they put out the two guys in the main event plus a very recognizable face 10 minutes before the opener of the show to be like, yes, you're trying to sell people to stay on the show. Tell people what's going on in the main event. Here are the guys. Here's Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Giving them a pep talk. Like, okay. Because I have to admit, I watched that pep talk, and after the pep talk, I'm like, Darby's winning.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I came away from it watching that pep talk, not with I think this guy is winning, but more of a, man, Foley, people have forgotten just how good Foley is on the microphone. Like and that includes me. Like it's one of those things, like I know he's a great promo, but I think for so long he's been the guy that fell off Hell in a Cell against Undertaker and then, fell through the cage and had the tooth go through into his nose and all that. He's the hardcore guy, but he's much more than just hardcore guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why he was on top of the WWF and won the world championship, is because it wasn't just he was a hardcore guy. Like, he's an all-time great promo. And I think, and you could see in his eyes too, when he was cutting the promo to MJF, that like the fire was back. I hadn't seen that fire from Mick Foley in a long time.
He wanted to be there for sure.
Yeah. And the line he said about, I had my losses in pro wrestling, but not 2 minutes and 15 seconds. That's a disgrace. Like, that was so good.
That was a good line.
It was great. And of course it's Mick Foley, so he has to get a little bit of a stand-up comedy bit in. It's like, I noticed you have wavy hair there, MJF, and it's waving goodbye. I was like, oh, Mick, I love you. So, and it got a good laugh from the crowd. But he cut a very good promo. And if we could get more stuff like this from Mick, like, again, I still think it's not a 0% chance he gets back in the ring and wrestles at some point. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's not zero.
I can tell you, he looked good.
He looked good. And
he had lost some weight. He looked like, when you had said that before, my mind was like, yeah. But when I saw him, I'm like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, I know. And look, it's pro wrestling, man. Those pro wrestlers, is a tough time for them to really unplug. And Mick Foley's one of those guys that's like a lifelong pro wrestling fan. Yeah. So, and I know it's like he's 60, 61 and all the bumps he took. But again, it's pro wrestling. But I thought Foley was great. If they're going to use Foley like this and spots like this and have them cut promos with some of the guys, I think that's a real big benefit. And certainly a much bigger upgrade to RJ City and Jeff Jarrett and Paul White on the pre-show. So if this is how they're going to use Mick Foley, then I think it's a massive upgrade and a big thumbs up.
But for me, again, put the people out there that you want people to stay around and watch, and give them something, and don't give them Costco guy. Give them MJF and Darby Allin, and this. You should stay tuned because this is going to happen.
Yep.
That's what a pre-show to me is. All right. FTR, Cope and Cage begin the pay-per-view with an I Quit match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. And if Cope and Cage lose, they have to disband as a team forever. My first question to you is, of the three people that I'm going to name, who does it better? Christian Cage, Cowboy Bob Orton, or Iron Mike Sharp?
Ooh, I like that.
With the, I got a cast on my arm and I've had it for a long time.
That's a great comp.
Right?
That's a great comp. I love Christian Cage, man.
I do too. The fact that he's always in gimmick too.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, Cowboy Bob Orton being able to do that for so long, still selling the cast gimmick. But yeah, Christian Cage is just, we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the last show, but I wanted to bring it up. It was that multi-man tag with the Bucks.
Yep.
And there was the spot where it's like, they tag Christian and it's like, all right, get set. We're both going to do super kicks to the guy, right? Yeah. He's standing up and they're getting ready. And he just runs and kicks him in the groin. It was so good. I love that so much. I see. That's like funny to me. Like he just runs in and they're looking, it's like, no, we were supposed to, like, all three of us were supposed to do.
No,
it was so great. And Christian was just fantastic in this match as well. Oh, I'm going to wax poetic on the match a little bit because I really enjoyed it. And usually I Quit matches, and there were still some things in it that I don't personally love in an I Quit match, like having to, tell them I quit. And they're like, no. Like
I agree. I thought that took away from it a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially, who's really bad at Dax.
Yeah, Dax is not very good
He's
at it.
Terrible. I gotta make a sound now.
You know what it reminded me of? You remember that I Quit match between Bob Backlund and Bret Hart? And Roddy Piper's the special guest referee is like, you say I quit. And Backlund's supposed to say I quit, but he doesn't. He just goes, and they're like, call it off.
What do we do?
Yeah. It's like, and which is hilarious. Backlund trying to protect himself a little bit. So it kind of reminded me of that, where it's like, he's not saying anything. He's just screaming. Like, I know what they were trying to go for. They're trying to sell that they were in pain and whatnot. And there were other elements too of like, first of all, my man, Big Stoke, just continues to be, first of all,
just Stoke.
Well, now Stoke, but he will always be Big Stoke in my heart. And the fact that finally we had the return of Beth, and Stoke comes out after getting involved in the I Quit match, and Beth lays him out. I'm like, first of all, she's not a legal competitor. Stoke has his manager's license. He's doing his job. You
He's
know,
doing his job by grabbing the competitors.
I'm sorry. Did the ref call a disqualification on that? I don't think so.
I don't think Stoke is allowed to put his hands on the team that they are facing, Zach. Do you think that that's so Stoke being out there?
Yep.
This is just kind of a hypothetical question. Like Stoke being out there and, always getting involved and then somebody coming out to even up the score. Would you consider that like interference in the match?
If I were to take my gimmick hat off and protecting Stoke, yes, I would consider that interference. Yes.
But if Stoke did it, you would not consider it interference.
He's my man, Big Stoke.
Okay, I'm trying to ask you like a legitimate question that let's pretend it's somebody else, like a manager that keeps doing things and somebody comes out. Is it interference when the fourth person comes out?
I don't mind it if there's an equalizer that comes out, like the baby face is making the save.
Right.
So that's the big thing with a lot of these. Like, so people might hear that as like, well, Zach, you're hypocritical because all these WWE matches, you talk about these run-ins and the interferences. But the problem is there's no baby face to counter these run-ins. It's usually just the run in. And it's just like, and it just gets annoying after a while. And plus it happens in every match. There are going to be some small road agents not talking to each other during this show, which I'll discuss. But this was, in this case, they had a big interference spot, this big run into counter, and that was the only thing for that match during that show, and it made it unique in its own part of the card.
Right.
So I don't mind it in that sense because I understood the story that they were telling. Is it my favorite story to tell? It is not, but I understood what they were going for. And you have to get the payback at some point with the way that we saw that angle play out in Toronto at the All Out show. So I understood the story that they were trying to tell with it. Again, it's not my favorite story, but if you were to put me on the spot of what I'd want to do instead of that, I can't really give you an argument on. It's just stuff I've seen so many times.
Yeah, but I think that would be, to me, Tony Khan going, okay, Adam, like, your wife got taken out. You talked about that. That's the reason to come back. Do you want Beth? Like, is this the right thing? And of course they're going to say yes. And so probably letting the wrestlers do what they want to do. And they all think it's a good idea. I mean, as much as they hate each other and they do I saw your kids grow up and like they're all friends.
Yep.
So
I did get a laugh out of once again, Christian Cage. For all of my, my things against the whole putting the microphone to the guy's mouth, be like, do you quit? Do you quit? No. I will say with Christian Cage, at least he turned it into something, where he's talking about Cash's mother, which was so good.
It was good.
And it got a big crowd chant going as well. I was like, okay, he's so good.
And you know what? So I missed like exactly what he said. And I turned and I'm like, what did he say? But I forgot there was a kid in the room.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't
tell you what he said.
I'm like, okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think you could hear it in the crowd chant later on. I was like, oh, that's what he was referencing. Gotcha.
So that's one thing I think in I Quit matches. I don't understand why the referee has to ask somebody if they quit.
Yeah.
Like just hold the microphone there until they actually just quit.
Yeah. Especially for that finish. Like I thought the finish was great. And that's also a thing that I absolutely loved about the show is I love the finishes on the show.
So the finish in this match. So Cope and Gage are your new AEW World Tag Team Champions. As you said, Beth comes out, kind of the equalizer. And then it was Christian that ended up doing the sharpshooter.
Yep.
And then, nope, Dax is not going to quit. And then Copeland comes and puts like STF, I don't know what you want to call it, like crossface
if you wanted to. Yeah.
Still not going to do it. The double crossface sharpshooter, but apparently Darby's sharpshooter, vicious.
Yeah.
People just tap out. They can't deal with 150-pound Darby. But when Christian's doing it and crossface from Edge, no. So then they found Spike. And
Dudley?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh.
an ode to Mick Foley, right?
Mhm.
And they hit it under the stairs and they brought Spike out, and that's the finish with the metal spikes coming out of the 2x4 plus the crossface plus the sharpshooter. And to me, that's a realistic, like what's he gonna do? Right? Like that's so I thought this is a good to very good opener. I thought it missed a couple of little things to make it like that total next level.
Yep.
But really good start to the pay-per-view. It's like what they wanted to do, capture the crowd, get them going, title change. They did all of those things.
Yeah, I thought this was a very good opener. I quite liked it. Again, there are certain things with the match type that I didn't love in of itself, and the stuff with Beth, just overall, like it's not my favorite kind of storytelling, but I get what they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, though, I thought it was a very good opener and a good, as you mentioned, a good way to start the pay-per-view.
Because I believe they've started now 3 consecutive pay-per-views with the tag team titles.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember the Bucks being in a Revolution and losing
to
FTR. And then did Cope and Cage lose? They did another tag match at the beginning. So it clearly is something that FTR is like, man, we got to be home by 8. Like,
clock's a ticking.
Right. Because they've been in all of those matches. And then we go to Kazuchika Okada, Konosuke Takeshita for the International Championship. And there's a thought in my mind like, they just changed the tag team titles and now this match is coming on. Like, we'll see. I did like the fact that they showed I thought a really good video of Takeshita kind of in Japan. He was taking photographs, but it was a little bit more behind the scenes of like, we're going to let you get to know this guy a little bit. And I was like, okay, I feel better now. Zach, this was, as Ben put it to me while we were watching, this is the match they should have had at World's End in the semifinals of the tournament. But they had it here. And man, oh man, this was, I thought this was so good. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, I don't know who's going to be out next, but man, this is good. It's going to be tough because it's a really good opener. And I love too that the crowd, and New York's a great place. I mean, the stadium, Arthur, it was just an unbelievable setting and the crowd was hot. But for 2 guys who don't really talk and are both Japanese, and I know that they're really good, but sometimes you get the casual people in there that don't know these people and like, the crowd was into it the whole way and they gave them so much. Takeshita's just, his strength to me is like next level. Like when you watch him, he's going to do a feat of strength that Bandito's kind of the same way now, but both of those guys, man, they worked really hard in this match. And I appreciated that. I don't know what happened at World's End and why they didn't do something like this, but man, this was crazy good. Like a match I would tell people, like, you don't have to know these guys in the story, and they're just guys from Japan that are in the same family, but they don't like each other. That's all you need to know going into the match. And incredible. So you're a loser. I'm a winner. Konosuke Takeshita wins the International Championship, and you knew 2 seconds after you picked Kazuchika Okada that probably wasn't the right pick. And it probably wasn't the right pick.
I was like, I made the wrong selection here. But man, this match.
I think the champion, who was also there, at one point said, Zach's going to be going crazy. Zach's just going to be like pumping his fists like up in this match.
He would be correct on that. I was standing. I was just pulling up for my chat with the predict trimmer as we were watching the match, and all caps I wrote, "This match bleeping rocks." I don't even care if I got my prediction wrong. Inject this into my veins.
Right.
This match rocked. Oh, this was awesome. I was, and we'll talk about the segment afterwards where I was like, oh my God, Lee, I'm willing to come up here and say it. Pro wrestling is back, baby.
Okay.
We're back. Pro wrestling's back after Saturday night's main event and everything. Pro wrestling's back, baby. Then it kind of went away later on the show, which we'll talk about. But pro wrestling, for a brief moment, we were back.
I'm gonna say the second match, and for a title that, quite honestly, I mean, it's a good title.
Yep.
But it's not like the world title. It's
No.
not even the TNT title. Like, it's just another championship.
Yep.
It's higher than the national because it's
Yes.
international.
Yeah.
But
by process of elimination.
But
yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
The second match on the card for a tertiary title.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
It was incredible. I love this match. And the thing with Kazuchika Okada has always been, since he's joined AEW, is that you could tell when it's not 100% Okada, it's like 75% Okada, which is still better than a lot of pro wrestlers.
For sure.
But you could tell this is not the full. This was full 100% Kazuchika Okada. He knew the environment, he knew the setting, and he had his working boots on.
Yeah.
Some of the sequences in this, were just unreal. Just how quick they were and how it just kind of kept going and going. And it felt so natural too. Even with it being so quick, it's all felt natural as part of the progression of the match. And the kick out at one spot, that's a very risky spot to do, but in this case,
it worked.
It worked so well.
Yeah.
I got up from my chair. I was just shaking. Oh, I absolutely adored this match. This is going to be a match of the year contender for me. This was something that I couldn't believe that this was the second match of the show.
Right.
And I'm up on my feet, just fist pumping, yes, pro wrestling is back. Here we go. And again, more to come later on where I was continuing to fist bump. But the match itself, I thought the interactions were great. You know, the Don Callis coming out there and saying, no, don't do this. We're trying to protect the asset and whatnot. I thought was actually a really well done touch.
And he got there late on Takeshita doing it to Okada. He got there in time for Okada not to do it.
Yep.
And there was a slight point where is Takeshita going to go heel? Okada didn't get to do it, but he got to do it.
Yep.
So I thought that was a nice little touch for sure. And then just to watch Kazuchika Okada throw drop kicks.
Oh,
I'm
beautiful.
I'm here for it.
He has the best drop kick in pro wrestling still. It's unbelievable. He is up there in terms of a Mr. Perfect
for his frame.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of Roddy Strong does an unbelievable drop kick.
Yep.
There are other guys that do really, really good drop kicks, but for his frame, it's so good
to get that high too. Unreal. So this is a match that I highly recommend people go back and watch. I mean, I was like, man, pro wrestling's back. We're so back.
And then, as you said, Takeshita wins the title. And then what happens? Zach?
We had the interaction with the Don Callis family trying to go for the handshake. Looks like Takeshita is out.
Can we not do the Rocky Romero being out there? Why?
Hey, he's a big deal in Mexico.
Great. It's the whole adage of those guys on sports teams, right? That are really good in the room. Stay in the room.
Yep. No, I understand.
I don't need him out there in a big moment like this, but so it looks like he's out, and all of a sudden the music hits.
It's all the pink coming through,
and Kyle Fletcher is back, and this is where there was no interference, there was no anything.
Yep.
But it was good. And he got a great ovation coming back. That must have felt good, right? Even you're gone a couple months, but you're back and people kind of treated him like a star.
Yep.
So he gets in there. And I thought the best part of this. So They do the whole thing, and he's kind of protecting Takeshita a little bit, and it looks like it's going to be Proto Shida and not Proto Kata.
Yep.
And they kind of go out of the ring, the rest of the Don Callis family. And I thought the best part of this was they hit the music.
Yep.
Because when they don't hit the music, and then the focus is on the two guys in the ring, and then they're like raising their hands, like, oh man, it's coming. But so there was a thought, of course, that you're in there and you're like, he's just going to turn on Takeshita. But once the music hits, I think it relaxes people enough. Like, hey, no, they're not going to. They're not going to do it.
Yep.
I thought a fantastic little touch that made it very believable. As then Kyle Fletcher lays out Takeshita, and hits. He's got a couple of like unbelievable moves too, and his brainbuster is just fantastic.
Yes.
And so when he left and he walked out, of course, with the Don Callis family, that's what stars look like.
Yep.
At the end of the second match, a guy comes out. He looks like he's going to go one way, goes the other way. But when he leaves, he looked like a star. I am glad that Kyle Fletcher is back on my television.
Me too. I am so happy to see Kyle, the Protostar Fletcher, back on my TV.
Don't get your stuff in.
Oh, sorry.
You're going to be able to get your stuff in the 7-on-7. So,
but no, this is a great segment. Like what you mentioned with the music, it's similar to what you see a couple of years ago with NXT when they would have the little copyright logo in the bottom left, and it's like, okay, the show is about to end, and then they do the big angle to kind of set up. Now WWE started to overuse that at the end, and
so they do it all the time now.
Yeah, what, WWE overusing something that they liked? Wow, what a shocker!
Yeah,
but in this case, I really like that too, because it also sell me. I was like, okay, like this is kind of the story that's coming in, and then obviously Protostar Fletcher was able to get that in.
Don't do it, Zach. Sorry, you're right here.
I'm in gimmick mode here.
I know, but I can do something about it. Like I can turn your mics off.
You mute me.
Yeah, I can do a lot of things here.
But yes, no, I this was a tremendous segment. Great heat in the building too, and just I thought, and if one of the big things about it is like, finally we're getting some progress in the storyline for the Don Callis family.
Yeah, and
it felt big, and it felt like it was earned, and I'm really looking forward now to seeing what a babyface Konosuke Takeshita can do. Still, obviously, I still think there's a lot of potential in a babyface Kyle Fletcher in the future. But for now, the way that they are doing this, I'm interested to see where it goes. If this is truly the end, or if they're going to do a little bit more of the interactions coming out of the pay-per-view. But overall segment, from the match to the segment itself, I was like, man, pro wrestling can be so good sometimes.
Right. And
this is one of them.
So one of the keys for me in this was when you have that good of a match and you're doing an angle after, the angle better be just as good.
Yeah.
Because don't take away from how great that match was. Because if you run a bad angle at the end of this, it wasn't like, as you said, maybe a match of the year, and you have a crappy angle at the end of it, it's like, no, there's a bit of pressure there to make it good because of how hard those guys worked. And I thought they did. I thought the angle was kind of just as good at the end, right? So let me throw something at you.
Okay.
As you said, is it going to be done? Is Kyle Fletcher just with the Don Callis family and all of those guys, like the family against Takeshita? Or is there a little bit of, I don't know, Kazuchika Okada not very happy with everyone? And yeah, I mean, Fletcher came in and Okada lost, and then now Fletcher's the guy. Do you think that this could lead to, I gotta be careful what I call it, Zach.
Okay.
A 3-way match.
See,
am I allowed to call it a triple threat?
No, well, only for ECW, and even then that was a triangle match.
Right.
But 3-way, good stuff. Good stuff.
I like triangle match.
Yeah, triangle match is better, I think.
Between Okada, Takeshita, and Fletcher for All In?
I think that's a possibility. The thing with All In is that's one of those pay-per-views like WrestleMania where you want to try and get everybody in on the card as much as you can. So if what is true, like I imagine we'll get another one of those casino gauntlet matches in there too on that All In card. But
But I'm just saying for Fletcher to get in and like, what's he going to do? And I don't think he's going to be involved with the world title, right? Like,
no,
you got the Owen. It's leading to the person in the main event. I was really hoping still in the main event that there was some of me that completely believed that everything I said about the main event on the pre-show was going to happen.
Right.
And that by the skin of his teeth and dumb luck that Darby was going to retain, but be so out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kyle Fletcher was going to come along on Wednesday on Dynamite and maybe win the world title.
That would be interesting.
But they're not going to do that. So again, I always work from All In and go, what's Kyle Fletcher going to do there? And you have to treat him like a star too.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me. I believe that was also brought up at the party. Someone screaming. The super fans probably screaming. I told him that. And like, I always got to cover my tracks here.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering what Kyle Fletcher's going to do. Is it just going to be him and Takeshita for the international title, and Okada's going to be doing something else?
I can't envision that. Like, I think it makes sense for it to be a three-way dance.
Triangle match.
Right. If we're talking WWE, I will gladly say triple threat.
Fatal four-way.
It's not a fatal four-way, Lee.
No. But they do
four-way dance.
They do use four-way in AEW and all kinds of things. Just not fatal.
No. As soon as I remember MJF doing a interview like for TV just to promote the show, and he called one of the matches that he was in a fatal four-way, and I'm like, Max, you're better than that. You're a top star. It's not a fatal four-way. It's a four-way dance or a four corners match or whatever. Right. It's not a fatal four-way. That's a WWE type match.
So lots of intrigue as to where that's going to go, but Kyle Fletcher's back and we had an absolutely incredible match. So now it's the women's quarterfinal matchup. Mina Shirakawa and Athena come out, and immediately, Zach, I'm like, they're in big trouble.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be
in. There's 2 title changes.
Yeah.
There's like a really good opener, and then a match of the year contender. To be out next. I actually think they did not a bad job. And here's where I'm going to give the crowd a ton of credit. I thought the crowd stayed with these women and didn't let it fall off, which I think very, very easily it could have.
Absolutely.
Right? That was a very tough spot for them. Still some botches that I didn't like, but I don't know. Like, I don't know whose fault they were. I would put it more on Mina than Athena.
Mm-hmm.
But Athena gets the win. I believe you picked Athena too.
Yeah, I picked Athena.
I thought maybe I could get one up on you with that one.
No, I laid out both cases, but I was edging towards Athena. So
Athena does beat Mina Shirakawa. But again, I just remembered this match not being as bad as I thought it was going to be, and that the crowd really helped the 2 women. That's what I remember.
Yep. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I was coming in and I was like, coming off of Takeshita Okada, and Mina Shirakawa isn't exactly Bull Nakano in there. So it was going to be tough to see these 2 kind of wrestle. But nonetheless, I thought they did good. I thought they had a good match. Again, I think Athena's good. I think she gets a little overrated sometimes.
I know, you say this every time though.
I know.
It was Mina Shirakawa that screwed up a couple of.
Yep. Oh, I'm looking at more like, I think people look at Athena as a next level women's wrestler, like in the pantheon of, Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm or whatnot. I don't see her at that sort of
Okay,
level.
but those two women aren't here right now.
I mean, in terms of like in-ring work, you know?
Yeah, but so in-ring work in AEW right now on the women's side with who is there, is she a top 3?
I'd argue Hayter and Statlander are better purely in ring. I get if you want to take away Willow Nightingale because of her injury, then maybe you can slot in an Athena in there.
I'm not putting Jamie Hayter there.
Really?
I'll give you Statlander, but
I think
No.
Jamie Hayter's a fantastic in-ring performer. There's a reason why they keep putting her in these women's titles matches a lot. I think she's very good.
there's a reason why. Do you remember any of them?
Well, they need some star power for some of them.
Yes, to not have Jamie Hayter in it. Yes, Zach.
You
can't tell me
disagree.
that. You can't tell me like that. There's a reason why they keep putting her there, and every match isn't memorable. Every one. I couldn't tell you one thing about a Jamie Hayter match other than her kissing her bicep too much. Seriously,
the Penta El Zero Miedo of the women's division.
Like it's all she does.
I don't know.
As a baby face.
I disagree. I think I come out of a lot of her matches and thinking she's probably the best pure in-ring wrestler out of a lot of the women that were in there. So and that's going to be a spoiler for one of the matches later on as well. But in terms of the Athena match with Mina Shirakawa, yes, there were a couple of botches in there, but again, this could have been a lot worse. And in fact, this kind of exceeded my expectations. And like what you said, the big thing that they had to go out and do was try and maintain that crowd over to the next match. And they were able to do that.
I agree.
And Athena got the win. Again, I don't think just to say on the Jamie Hayter topic, I think Jamie Hayter like greatly exceeds Athena in the ring. That's my take. But but that's my opinion. But I look, I'm not saying Athena's a bad wrestler or anything like that. I don't see as high on her as others seem to be.
Right.
That's all.
Your boy was out next, Jon Moxley, defending the Continental Championship against Kyle O'Reilly. Didn't love that O'Reilly made the stipulations, which I thought had the same stipulations, except apparently if Kyle O'Reilly wants it to be a no time limit, then he's allowed to make those rules, which I don't get.
Yeah, I didn't love that either.
However, they went in and I thought that this match was good, but what I appreciated about the match, I didn't think it was great, but what I appreciated about it with the Continental rules and what they do best, it was different from a lot of the other matches.
Yep.
Like it gave the wrestling fans something different to watch. You might have liked it and you might not have, but it was different from a lot of the other things that people were doing. In the end, Jon Moxley tops out Kyle O'Reilly. And I think we saw that coming with Kyle O'Reilly doing it to Moxley twice and then going to the time limit draw. I don't know where it really leaves O'Reilly, but a lot of respect between the two. And I thought this was a good match.
Yep. I love the finish of this match. The overall match itself, I thought was good to very good. I was hoping for a little bit more. But the finish itself, I absolutely loved just the escape and knowing that Mox, knowing if he gets caught in that ankle lock by Kyle O'Reilly, he's screwed. I love that storytelling. Again, I'm going to repeat it until the cows come home, Lee. It's so simple. There's the one move.
So I was just looking for the cows.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I thought you were looking for the fox, actually, that come by a while back. But it's the one move that Jon Moxley's like, I know if I get locked in this, I'm screwed. And he's trying to find different ways to fight out. And he knows that this guy has his number. And he tries to find different ways to get out. And he's finally able to figure him out and find that counter and get the submission onto O'Reilly. And I love that he was trying to find the ropes and being like, I got to find and break this because I can't, and he just can't get there. And he looks, he realizes, I have to. It's so simply, it could be this good. We don't have to overthink this stuff, but it got across so much. And it felt like a big win for Moxley, even though when you look at them comparatively on the card, Moxley's much more ahead of O'Reilly on the card. Right. And I wish there was more of this from Kyle O'Reilly on the main roster for AEW. I think he reverts, here comes no fun Zach over here after my rant about Danhausen. But I think he delves way into the comedy stuff, and I think it's a total waste of his ability. I can see why he's a likable guy, but I think it's a total waste of him to just be comedy guy with the conglomeration coming out sitcom style through the door and be like, hey, it's a conglomeration. Like you're an MMA based fighter, like with a unique offense.
So here's look, I'm gonna be No Fun Lee.
Okay, there you go.
And agreeing. That'll be our team.
No fun. No fun. This is wrestling.
So I loved Kyle O'Reilly when he was just a badass.
Yep.
Look, with a MMA base, and like I could break your ankle if I wanted to.
Yep.
And again, when he was a heel with Undisputed Era, like I love that group so much. One of my favorite factions of all time. But he fit into that faction because he would air guitar.
Yep.
The belt, cool.
I'm not saying show no personality.
Right. But come out and like I'm going to tear you up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's funny.
Yeah.
So when you're trying
I'll even go a step above, maybe on the harsher side, but I think more of these wrestlers need to be told they're not exactly George Carlin going out there and telling jokes.
Oh, that's a good reference.
So
thought you were going to bring up Will Sasso or
yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, I think they think they're very funny, but they're not. And especially Kenny Omega. Like, I think, but who's going to go and tell Kenny Omega you're not funny?
It's more about telling Kenny Omega, don't do that.
Yeah. Have a little bit more control of your performances.
Yep.
And I think O'Reilly falls in that same realm because Kyle O'Reilly is significantly more interesting with stuff like this with Moxley than his comedy stuff. So I wish he would delve into that more, but I also think he's one of those guys that really likes doing the comedy stuff if you're a wrestler and like you don't have to take as many bumps, especially for a guy like O'Reilly, like he's older than you would imagine, right? He's late 30s, getting into his early 40s, and you want to try and limit the bumps. Comedy, you can save a lot. Like you could be a comedy wrestler. Look at Danhausen right now, R-Truth. Like
but that's not what Kyle O'Reilly is. He still is out there.
Right. They're obviously on the more extreme sides of the spectrum, but I'm kind of making that comparison in the sense that see how long those guys' careers are, being able to continue on and still be in good shape. And because they've delved in that, I'm not saying O'Reilly's on that tier, but there's leaning more towards it where you don't have to take much more of these bumps. So I wish O'Reilly would just kind of stick with this stuff because I think it makes him way more interesting when he's in the realm of the Moxley. And I'm so glad that Moxley has identified him and just be like, look, this is the guy I want to work with. Like he matches how I view pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Moxley continues to be a guy that just like, there's going to be better wrestlers than him, but Moxley's still a great pro wrestler. Like he is just a model of consistency.
And he's a leader. Like, and when I say leader, I mean like not the leader of the Death Riders. Like I mean a leader of like men in the locker room and women and do things the right way all the time. He's always doing something for the company, right? And getting it over and being really good at it. Like I know you said earlier on that like maybe he was like your wrestler of the year.
Yep. He was certainly a dark horse near the end, the way that he was putting together some of the matches.
Right. And I just think like that might be the most, like maybe not the wrestler of the year, but when you talk about like a most valuable player, hard to think of somebody that has done more for the company in different ways and putting other guys over, and just the way that he thinks about pro wrestling is, I think, what you and I enjoy about pro wrestling.
Yep. And I think that's why I really like the match too. Again, it wasn't, I think these two have had better matches in the past, but still, I thought this was a very good match. And again, I loved the finish on that match. It was so smart and so simple. And we're not remaking the wheel here. Like it's good fundamental pro wrestling, and it really put over Moxley in this case, and it helped O'Reilly show that other side, that edge that I think we all know he has, but he just kind of gets brought into the conglomeration and brought into the in-ring stuff. Like you can't
Why
find
just
that lane.
him and Roddy can't go out there and just be a badass team?
I know, especially Roddy. Like
why can't they just go out and be a badass team?
I don't know. There's this idea that I think it just goes back to, I think there's an idea, and I don't know if it's necessarily wrong, but you got to have some sort of a character or personality.
But what's FTR's personality? Really?
It's a great point.
Like,
they're just two great wrestlers.
I think they needed Stoke
Yep.
to up some of the things that they were trying to do. So smart to put Big Stoke with them.
Mhm.
But just as a team, I don't look at those guys and go, man, they have personality oozing out of them.
No.
Like, in fact, it might be the opposite.
No.
But they're really good.
Yeah.
So why can't we have another team like that? Like, I don't know.
Especially with the Roderick Strong. Like, I've gone on this show and said if I start a wrestling company, Roderick Strong is easily one of my first 8 hires, because that's just a model of consistency. I know he's going to be number 1, a team player, number 2, a guy that I can rely on to go on TV and have great matches. But they seem adamant on him, walking in and be Adam and like thinking that's,
I actually thought that was funny.
I know you do.
It still pops me.
You know what? You know what I find fun? Him throwing guys up in the air and have them land on his knees and breaking their backs.
I know.
Which is going to be another point later on for Stadium Stampede.
You keep promoting what you're going to be talking about later.
Yeah.
So remind me that after we're done this review, before we move on to other things, there is a topic that I really want to get to.
Okay.
But Will Ospreay and Samoa Joe in the quarterfinals of the Owen. Sometimes I just get lost for words as to what you can say that hasn't been said already.
Mm-hmm.
This is just like, I don't know how it gets better than the next 2 matches that we're going to talk about in the quarterfinals of a tournament that you're telling us is a very important tournament. The winner of the Owen gets the title shot. It's the Royal Rumble, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if in WWE terms, the Owen is the Royal Rumble. You win the Owen, you get the title shot at the most important event.
Yep.
It's what the winner of the Royal Rumble gets, the title shot at WrestleMania. And to have this big of a matchup, like Joe now is a 2-time former AEW world champion facing off against Will Ospreay in the quarterfinals of a tournament. Like, yes, please. Like, I'm going to let you talk about this. Sometimes I get a little bit kind of fanish, but I love these 2 guys so much.
Yeah.
I could have watched them wrestle forever. And they didn't disappoint me.
Yep.
Like, they were out there. Like, I kind of feel like Ospreay is always out there working really hard, but Joe shows up in big spots.
Absolutely.
Doesn't always show up in some of the other spots.
Nope.
But shows up in big spots.
Well, especially at this point of his career, he's been in the industry now 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to believe. So yeah, I was going to come in and say, I think we've said all about Will Ospreay at this point, how we feel about him. He's an all-time great pro wrestler. If you disagree, argue with the wall at this point. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else you need from him. So I was going to come in and switch it and say, I think Samoa Joe is also an all-time great pro wrestler. And change it up a little bit. And I mean that in the sense that the man, every time he has gone into a wrestling promotion, whether it be in Ring of Honor, whether it be in TNA, whether it be in WWE, and now with AEW, somehow, some way, he finds himself in the main event. For 20 years, he's been able to do that and be legitimate about it too. And that's even with when he signed with AEW, it was like, I think he'll be a solid piece to the roster, maybe a mid-card guy. You could throw the AEW TNT championship on him or whatever. But he is so goodly. He is so, like, you look at him and he is so legitimate and you believe everything he says. It's to the point where the AEW management, Tony Khan's thinking to themselves, we have to put the world title on him.
Right.
Like now you could argue about like the length of the title reign being a transition, but the fact that at one point we on this show, myself included, have said, coming in, it's like, I think, the best years of Samoa Joe are done. And he's, he had a good run. His Ring of Honor run is a legendary run. And, TNA, you wish it went better because, the creative team sucks over there and they didn't know what to do with a guy like Samoa Joe. And WWE, he eventually found his way in the main event, had a match with Brock Lesnar. Like, he had a very good career. But this AEW run, I think, has really cemented him into an all-time great in-ring guy that, quite frankly, there's not a lot of wrestlers that have been able to stay in the main event scene for as long as Samoa Joe has.
Well, and especially with all the different places, as you said, whether it was with TNA, whether it was with Ring of Honor, NXT, into the WWE, AEW, like every promotion, he has found himself up there. I don't know how many guys can really say that they've been to the places that he has been and been at the top of all of them. No, that's not a bad point. And
also just the quality of matches he's had. Like, I always tell people to go back and watch, obviously, his Ring of Honor title reign, but also his 2005, where he's just facing off against Punk and facing off against Kenta Kobashi, and just like,
I just watched that Kobashi match again.
It's so good.
It was really good.
That is my most rewatched match. Like, I just go back to it. It's like the crowd, the energy, the great story of Kobashi thinking no one's going to recognize him. He's like, let me just work heel. Like, nobody's going to recognize. And it's like, Kenta Kobashi is in the, like, it's like, just work as Kenta Kobashi and everyone's losing their mind. But like his 2005 and then TNA, like, you see in the early years of his TNA run, he's working hard, but again, it's TNA and they're a bunch of idiots that ran it and they didn't know what they had in a Samoa Joe. And so he lost himself while he was in TNA. And I don't blame him because you got, guys up at the top. Sounds like a lot like WCW. They're trying to maintain their spot. Meanwhile, Samoa Joe's like having a tough time breaking through. So he's just like, well, if they're not caring about me, I'm not going to care about them. And then he gets out of TNA, gets back into Ring of Honor for a little bit, then goes into NXT, really finds himself again. It's like, oh yeah, this is the Samoa Joe that I recognize, and having great matches. And then going up to WWE, and it's like, okay, well, I don't know if it's going to fit like the Vince mold of that time. And he's able to break through and be a main event guy, challenging for the title and challenging Brock Lesnar. I remember the great Balls of Fire match with Brock Lesnar, Lee. I remember that.
What a pay-per-view.
What a pay-per-view name. And then he, obviously stuff with WWE, they make him a commentator. They put it's that rain. He's got I forget what it's called, but he's got the little rain jacket on, the poncho over his head. And I'm like, this is the Samoa Joe. And then he goes to AEW and then, oh my gosh, it's Samoa Joe. Like, he finds it every time. And I think his ability to stay relevant and be in the main event scene and be a credible challenger and having great matches. And look, I know he's facing off against Will Ospreay, who's an like, I could go in there and have a match with Will Ospreay and be passable at this point. Like, I think he's just that good. But still, I thought this was a great match.
So 2 things in the match I wanted to ask you about.
Sure.
One of them was that they did a second kick out at 1.
Yes. Road H is not talking to each other. I saw it. It's like, as soon as it happens, like, you guys, like, Will, I know you're watching the matches there, bruv, and you're watching the Takeshita Okada. As soon as you see that 1 count, I don't mind a little bit of repetition.
Was he watching the matches before?
Maybe,
because on Twitter.
Oh, well,
he was on Twitter a few hours before, and there was just regular Joe telling him, Joe's the wrong word, but like regular guy. Will, you gotta lock in.
You gotta lock in. You got a match with Samoa Joe.
You got Samoa Joe coming up. Like
the reply was hilarious.
Right, this is the best part.
Lock in, Will.
You don't seem focused right now.
No, that was a very funny tweet, but but I mean, like,
it's an oversight that should not happen.
There's certain spots, like, look, I can at this point allow certain moves to be like used, but if you're talking about big moments in a match, you can't just repeat the same big moments from a previous match. Put like the announce table spots that we see in WWE all the time. In this case, the kick out at 1, like we saw it in Takeshita Okada. As soon as that's in, you're like, okay, well, we're gonna have to like scratch that spot.
Agreed.
So I as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I already saw this in the,
it's an oversight that cannot happen to me, especially with big wrestlers and big moments. Because they are not, as you said, necessarily a half an hour, 40 minutes before glued to the television watching what's happening in that match. Somebody has to tell them. And they did not. And that to me is
And what was the thing you said with Takeshita and Okada when Callis was coming out there and talking with them, and it was a little touch that made you think, oh, maybe Okada is going to win this
Right.
because of the way that this interaction helped. Like it's stuff like that, can make the world of difference.
Yeah, because in that, Callis came out and he stopped Okada from hitting Takeshita on the floor with his head.
Yep.
But then he didn't get there in time for Takeshita to do it to Okada.
Yep.
And it's like, what are you doing? Like, what? And yeah, it makes you think. It's those little tiny details.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be one that, look, I think everyone's at fault. They should know, but it's an oversight.
Yep.
It's clearly an oversight.
Yep.
So the other thing I wanted to ask you about this was, I don't know what the rule is in professional wrestling, but I think we got to make it one or the other, that when you raise a guy's hand and he is out in a choke, a sleeper, whatever is going on. How many matches have we seen where the hand gets raised, it falls down, and it's over?
Yep.
It's kind of the MMA thing, right?
Yep.
Like, hey, the guy's out, like it's over. But in this match, Ospreay's hand falls twice, and he looks like he's out.
Yeah.
Before they kind of do the third, he ends up grabbing the rope. Bryce Renser can't believe it. I just don't like that inconsistency.
I agree.
It's like, can we just pick one?
Yep.
Which one would you like it to be?
Yep. That could, and again,
which one would you like it to be? 1 or 3?
I would prefer 1. I think it's a lot more realistic if it was 1.
I think the drama of the 3 is really.
I think the 3 is very cartoon 1980s WWF.
Agreed.
So I would much prefer the 1, and then just like him holding on to his fists, saying, clenching his fists and trying to fight back. That we do need a universal rule on that, and that could be as simple as going back to one of the things about making sure that you're different from the competition is like, we have this set rule for this, right? As opposed to like in WWE, sometimes it's 3, sometimes 1's like, no. Yeah. Here in AEW, we have a set amount of rules that we care about this stuff.
So Will Ospreay does defeat Samoa Joe to move on to the semifinals. Hidden Blade, kick out at 1. Second Hidden Blade beats him.
Yep.
And the sign of respect from Samoa Joe, kind of bowing down to Will Ospreay as he leaves the ring. I'm here for it. Like, I just love everything. So
great.
So now we get into the second quarterfinal, and it's Swerve Strickland and Bandito. And I thought this is a really interesting match, because if you're Swerve and Bandito, you're like, we could probably put on a banger here. But yeah, the opener is really good. You had Takeshita and Okada, which was like off the charts.
Yeah.
And now, like, yeah, there's some other, like Moxley and O'Reilly was good, like consistent good. Even like Mina and Athena was good. But now Will Ospreay and Joe was great.
Yep.
This is a bit of a tough spot. So I found in this match, and it was the talk of when we were watching, that the first, I don't have an exact time on it, but like, just say the first half of the match, I was like, come on, guys. Like, I know you, but come on. We need you. We need you to get going. And then the second half of the match might have been my favorite 10 minutes of like the entire thing, which is saying a lot because of how great this card was. The last 10 minutes of this match, I would again, and just implore anybody who, if you're thinking about like watching AEW as opposed to WWE, it's like, just watch the last 10 minutes of this match.
Yeah.
Just insane. Like, there are a couple, one of the things that we'll talk about, spot I've never seen before. Swerve jumped up and balanced on Bandito's shoulders in the middle of the ring, standing. Swerve is like put on all this weight.
Yep.
For him to get up, do you know how risky that spot is? To just fall over and it not work? Bandito's strength is off the charts. And he's done it a couple times in the last couple of weeks where he one arm presses a guy.
Yep.
And you would think, okay, like, is it Darby Allin? Is it Orange Cassidy?
Right.
No. Like, it's Swerve Strickland.
Yeah.
He's one arm pressing him, and he did it to Andrade. We were trying to figure, it was Andrade he did it to.
Yep.
And it's like, that is like one of the craziest things I've ever seen. The last 10 minutes of this match was insane. The balance spot in the middle, that's the spot that got me like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
We're going now.
Yeah.
And then it's like they did a sprint for the last 10 minutes, which was just insane. At the end of it, I don't think I stood up as tired on Sunday night, but that bad knee. But man,
yeah.
I was like, okay, like we're here. We are here. And Swerve Strickland beats Bandito after you picked Bandito to go on this whole path to the finals and
then I went to Swerve.
I know.
I was like, you know what? It's a little too obvious. And sometimes I work myself into a shoot where I'm like, this is just too obvious. I'm gonna be bold here. But whenever I'm bold, it's just a dumb pick.
No, but my favorite part is that you switched it back at the end to Swerve, even though you laid out the path, because that's what good hosts do.
Yep.
They give you different paths.
Yep.
So much so, like, we're sitting there and I'm asking, like, who'd you guys pick? And the champion was, Bandito.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm like,
wow.
Because of Zach? Like, there's no other reason you're picking Bandito.
Yes.
Zach sold you. Well, no, yeah, like, he didn't really.
He didn't want to give me credit.
No, but it's like there's no other reason.
Yeah.
But he was talking about Brody King and what a match is going to be in the semifinals.
Yep.
Like Brodito going up against each other. Like you sold him. And then didn't even pick it yourself.
Nope.
Anyway, that's a lot of
that was the one, right, where I'm like, well, I win either way, right? Like, because I laid out a great path, and so if Bandito wins, I will claim victory on it. But I am picking Swerve because I think that's what's happening.
So this to me shows greatness, and when I talk about greatness in wrestling, it's not necessarily about the moves. It's not necessarily about the gimmick. Greatness is when you're in the middle of the match. It's been like the card has been like an A card.
Yep.
So far to that point. I thought the crowd was dead in the first 10 minutes more than it was at any other point in the night. And those two took the crowd and were like, oh, you want to sit down, do you? You want to sit in your hands for a little bit?
Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah.
And they got them literally back up off of their seat, chanting, screaming. That's what greatness is.
Yep.
It's like a little bit of dead in the crowd. Hey, maybe we're not going. Like, it was a slow build, but oh my God, did they came back, and these are two of the best. Like, these are two of the best in the world.
Yeah.
Like, they're just incredible. So Swerve Strickland does beat Bandito. There was a lot of talk about this match, but
no,
the last 10 minutes was insane.
It was great. I mean, I should. Well, the last bit was great. To me, it was three parts. The first, like, they started off hot with the attack early on, and then trying to get it going, but then it really slowed down. And this middle portion just was like, oh, we are lagging here. I think they missed it, and blah blah blah. That's sometimes what happens with Bandito, is that I don't think he's a full complete. If you give him 20 minutes, like, I don't know if he's going to be great for 20 minutes. I think he'll be great for 10 minutes. But boy, did they get the crowd back. One of the other spots that they did, which got me off my seat, was the poison Rana from the apron to the outside.
Oh my God.
And Swerve took a great bump on it. I was like, holy. I was just like, okay, we're getting these spots in.
And they've done it a couple times before, but when Bandito does the 21 plex, not from the guy grabbing the ropes, but like from the dead heat in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And to do it to Swerve, he shows feats of strength that other guys simply cannot do.
No. It continued this stretch of the pay-per-view where I'm like, man, this has been a really good show. And I thought this, again, that closing sequence, I was like, oh my gosh, like what a match that was. And Swerve obviously getting the victory. I thought it really closed off hot. I can't say it was an overall great match, because there was that lull in between, but they certainly thought I came away being like, wow, this is good to very good at the end.
Again, Swerve Strickland, who's like 275 pounds, jumped up and in one spot stood on the top of Bandito's shoulders and just didn't fall over at all.
Oh yeah. And Bandito, playing off of the fact that he never hits the 21 plex, the original version, correctly, catching him's arm and turning into a vertebraker was insane.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because the transition into that spot was next level.
Yeah. Oh, it was, and doing that, it's like, oh, let's go. It was great. That closing stretch, I'm like, man, if they had extended that a little bit more, I'd probably be talking about in the same vein as Ospreay and Samoa Joe as just a tremendous match.
A 4-way match.
There you go.
Was not at all fatal. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Tekla, Chris Statlander, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida for the Women's World Championship. All right, you go ahead.
Yeah, I've already said my bit about Hayter, but I think Hayter's very good. I think she is the best of the 4 women in there. I'll even go as far as say I think she's the best of the women's wrestlers, just purely in ring. And I love, I love me some Tekla, and I'm glad that she was able to retain the championship. And I thought she put in a good showing.
There was zero threat of her losing this.
No, yeah, the thing that I was going into, there was a frustrating element, and I was talking about it on the preview show too, is like, why is Statlander putting up with Hikaru Shido's BS? Like, just leave. Like, she's just rolling her eyes like, oh, why would she do that? I don't need to leave. Like, you don't have a contract to her as far as we know.
Yeah.
Like, if they had explained, it's like, oh, she signed a contract to be for, a bodyguard or whatever, but that's not the case. So just leave. Like, what? Lee, when we've done this show, we've never been like, man, the bond that Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander have is just second to none. Like, right up with your Edge and Christians and FTR.
But then doing the spot at the end where Shida hits her with the kendo stick.
Yeah.
Like it's some sort of, Shida's turning heel now. We never.
What a betrayal.
I don't know. Kind of felt pretty similar. And I think the only thing I didn't love this match. I knew I wasn't going to, though.
Yeah.
I guess what I don't like is that I'd like the champion to look a little bit stronger than some rift between 2 women that really even aren't in the title picture.
Yeah.
And the rift is the main point of the match.
Yeah.
And causes the end of the match.
Yeah.
And it's like, can't Tekla do something to cause the end of the match as the champion?
Agreed. I will say though, I thought it was going to be a lot more in your face of like Statlander going in for the pin and Shida kicking her, and they both stand up.
Yeah, they didn't overdo that.
They didn't overdo it, and like, so I will like. I'm glad they had the self-control because they could have easily gone down that route, and I would have been, on this show like rolling my eyes and just being like Chris Statlander, whenever Hikaru Shida was talking or interrupting her promo. And just be like, oh well, so they kind of saved it for the end. It wasn't like so overbearing, but it was just in the back of my head during the match where I'm like, something's gonna happen. So yeah, it's and the thing is too is like, if you've noticed, they really like to rely on the 4-way match stipulation for the women's matches, especially their title matches on pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. They
really like to rely on that. And they very rarely do the one-on-ones, like whether it be Statlander and Hayter or when Mercedes Moné was defending the belts, So I know Tekla was defending the belts last show, but I wish they could just kind of stick to the one-on-one.
I wish they could have real stories where you cared about the one-on-one matchups.
Yep. I still love me some Tekla, so I'm glad she was able to retain the championship. And again, she you could just tell, even like character-wise and where she's at, she's league above all the women in there.
For sure.
But and you could just see it there. It's like, man, if only like more wrestlers, period, just could take the mindset of Tekla and put it into their character sometimes. Because she's not playing pro wrestler. She is pro wrestler.
Right.
And so many times I feel like, and I think that's a big criticism I have of Statlander sometimes, where I feel like sometimes she plays pro wrestler. And
100%.
And it's like, and it's frustrating because she has so much potential. I've seen her have great matches, but I just don't think she has that next gear to be pro wrestler as opposed to play pro wrestler. So
yeah, I think that's very fair. She's never really found her niche, like where she can settle in to be like,
Yeah.
this is who
her
I
gimmick
am.
changes all the time, and it's like,
And I never even know really what it is.
yeah, it's like she's an alien, but now she's not. But she's also half an alien, but
Yeah.
now she's back to being a human. But now she's an ass kicker, and now back to being an alien. And I'm like, look, can we just stick to one thing? Like, I don't want to hear from the AEW, sickos out there. They'd be like, well, it's an alien, and maybe it's like a morphine into like different. I don't want to hear any sort of defense.
No,
it's stupid.
It's they have no idea what to do with her.
Exactly.
And she's not really falling into that. I need one thing to grab onto so I can just be that.
Speaking of defense from the AEW sickos.
Stadium Stampede. It's Jericho. It's Omega. It's Jack Perry. It's the Young Bucks. And yes, Zach, it's the Hurt Business.
That's right.
Oh, sorry, the Hurt Syndicate.
The Hurt Syndicate.
Oh, geez, the Hurt Business.
Yeah. They hurt people.
They do?
Yeah, they hurt people.
Well, they hurt me on this show. Okay, so yeah, I'm eager to talk about this.
Yep.
You had to have liked the vignette of them coming in, Metallica cutting, doing like you didn't love it?
I tolerated it. I didn't hate it. I thought Omega having the cigar and then choking on the smoke
was funny.
Corny.
Oh, I thought it was funny.
I thought it was corny.
Because they're making it all serious and they're doing all of these like it kind of looked like Pulp Fiction and it kind of looked like some other
I like the suit. Said like, look, there's a lot of things you can say about Bobby Lashley. The man can wear a suit like nobody else. that is a suit wearing individual right there.
Not the best thing said about the pro wrestlers. That,
that man could wear a suit like nobody else.
Looks good in a suit.
Yeah.
But I always described this match going into it. Like I said at the very beginning, guys, get ready for the match of which one of the demands going to take the pin.
Yeah.
And then Clark Connors was thrown out, which I thought was fair.
Fair one. Yeah.
But I was pretty sold on the demand taking the pinfall.
There was a part of me that's like, the hilarious part would be Ricochet pinning Chris Jericho at the end and all of this. Like there was a part of me's like, God, I hope he just, after all that, Ricochet just
So you didn't
Jericho.
like the vignette, eh?
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it either. It compared to everything else in the match. Well, we'll talk about it.
So first of all, no song, no music throughout the match.
Yeah. I think that's an Anarchy in the Arena thing.
Zach, look, I like AEW.
Yeah.
Okay, I do.
Yeah.
You're going to have to tell me the difference between Stadium Stampede and Anarchy in the Arena. And if you tell me one's got music playing and the other one doesn't, that's not good enough.
Well, Lee, one's got music playing and the other, no.
Like, what is the difference? Don't tell me it's an Anarchy in the Arena thing.
I think Stadium Stampede is more on the cinematic style, we're going to do some zany wackiness. Well, Anarchy in the Arena is more of Memphis style, going across the arena, brawling match. I've always enjoyed the Anarchy in the Arenas more than I do the Stadium Stampedes. So I
think for 99% of the people,
yeah,
like I just listened to you and thought, oh, that's like a decent explanation. I don't think 99% of the people that even watch AEW would know.
I think they would kind of put it all together. And look, I'm not saying it as a defense. I'm merely just answering the question that's put in front of me. Like I'm being cross-examined in a court case. And I'm like, look, I'm just answering the question. I don't believe it or agree it, but you want me to answer that question so that you could utilize it in your closing statements later on. Go on ahead. But but that is what I believe to be the difference between a Stadium Stampede and an Anarchy in the Arena match.
Okay, so where do you want to start?
I will say I was invested in the first bit of the match because it did feel like, they were going to the outside, they were brawling and they were fighting. I was invested for the first little bit.
So where did it break down for you? The food fight?
A food fight was definitely one of them. It broke down. I was messaging a buddy of mine when Leo Rush showed up in his Gollum impression. Let's call it now. This gimmick sucks. for Leo Rush. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, look, he's trying to get himself on TV. He's trying to get it, but this thing sucks.
It's always sucked.
Yeah.
Like I never even gave him the benefit of the doubt. First time I saw it, I'm like, this is just terrible.
It's just I wasn't loving it, and now this like him just going like the voices, they're talking to me. I'm like, I don't need that. I'm good. I don't need the different pupils or whatever.
Yep.
And you know, I was getting sold because it's like, so he showed up, right? They're brawling in the back. It's Bobby Lashley coming through, and you get Leo Rush and Bobby Lashley, and I get people being like, oh, like that's the first time we've seen Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush on screen together since Leo Rush was Bobby Lashley's manager in WWE. Like that's, and I'm like, who cares? That was like during the worst part of WWE.
Yeah.
That's like me saying, like, if Vince Russo showed up in a Hulk Hogan match, be like, that was like at Bash at the Beach 2000, when that was the last time we saw him again. I don't care. Like, it's bad. Like, and he's going to there, and it's Leo Rush, right? So he's doing all the eye thing, and he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so crazy. Ooh.
Okay, so they got Leo Rush in.
Yeah.
He's out.
And I was like, uh-oh.
Satnam Singh, the food fight.
So Satnam Singh's sitting there. So it's so wacky. It's so funny, Lee. He's sitting there and he's got this giant cake.
Yeah, he's in catering.
He's in catering, rightfully so, eating cake. And he's got this giant thing of cake. And then it's the shoving the face in. And Satnam Singh's like, oh, you just gets up, right? It's supposed to be the visuals like, oh, this 7'2" monster is standing up with the cake in his face. And I'm like, what? I saw, and I'm not going to let Tommy Invincible get off scathe here. You saw that where he does for those that aren't aware, he's on Instagram, and his whole bit is he does his introduction. It's that Invincible song that he comes out to.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing is like, he comes out and you never know what the crowd size is going to be. It could be like 10 people in the crowd. Like there's more wrestlers on the show than people in the crowd, or it could be like a big thing and they're like, oh, we're rooting for Tommy Invincible. I still don't understand the appeal. Like, he's just, I guess it's because he's motivated to be on TV, but like every time I see him on screen, maybe this is harsh, but I don't care. He's a dork. Like, I just see.
I'm not into it at all.
Like, I find him to be, but they insist on this Tommy Invincible guy, and he shows up and he's like, Invincible! And like, we're really going to let this guy get his stuff over on the AEW pay-per-view? And then again, the food fight, and I'm like, really? We're doing a food fight? What is this, 2012 Raw?
Well,
like,
hold on a second.
Yeah.
What year was it where Vince McMahon's in the limo and then the car comes and hits the limo and it goes up?
It explodes. Or the exploding limo. That was 2007.
Okay, well.
That was a week before the Benoit stuff, which was just bad timing.
Yeah. Jurassic Bus, Mark Davis.
Well, there was that, but there was also, first of all, we had multiple screens. I put over the production earlier, and look, it's tough when you have all this chaos going on. You're trying to make it work, but we had these two screens on. One screen showed Andrade. You're not going to believe this, but Andrade went to the corner and found some women to pick up some phone numbers.
Oh, I forgot.
Unbelievable.
I forgot.
Yeah, and it was two women. And then he comes in, and then like he's about to take the selfie, but who comes up? But it's Luchasaurus in a wig. Ha ha ha! That's just good. That's funny. It's a dinosaur in a wig.
It was so bad.
It was so awful. And I'm like, oh, guys, you lost me. Like, I'm out. Like, you had me for the first little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I could have let the Leo Rush stuff go, but then the food fight happened, and I was like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing a food fight? I thought this was the alternative promotion.
I know, but then Luchasaurus in the wig.
Yeah.
And then the crashing into the car. Like, I never understand. Like, so Jack Perry's trying to murder Mark Davis?
Yes. He was trying to commit vehicular homicide.
And he's a face.
Correct.
Trying to get the big bad heel, Mark Davis, who cheated, I guess, to win the national title.
Yes.
But it's not like Mark Davis is like the most dastardly heel in the world.
Well, look, if once you lose your national championship, you really just want to kill a guy, apparently.
honestly, like the other stuff, the comedy stuff, I don't really get. It's not funny to me.
Yeah.
This I really don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who that's good for.
Yeah.
Like, is it good for Jack Perry? I don't know what happened to Mark Davis's head.
Yeah, I guess there was a spot I wasn't like,
Got
because
cut
again
on
there was
the table.
there was 1,000 things going on, and it's just like, yeah, and also too, like, you know, he's getting in the golf cart, whatever, and then Jack Perry comes in with the bus and he drives in and he crashes in, and Shivani is screaming, "He was in that golf cart! He was in that golf cart!" And I'm like, he was not in that golf cart.
I know.
I'm looking, it's like there was not a human being in that golf cart. Like, if you were to say there's somebody in the bus because this guy ramming a bus into a golf cart. And so it was like, whoa, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm like, I guess we're going to do 1999 Attitude Era Hardcore Championship Raw in this segment. So yeah, we had that. We had the wig, the food fights, the Luchasaurus in a wig.
Yeah, way too many things.
It was too much. And they should have just kept this in the ring. Shockingly enough, AEW, known for their in-ring stuff, very good in the ring. But then there was also the stuff because, you know, we got to go after Jim Cornette. So what we're going to do, because we're at the tennis stadium, is Jericho and Ricochet are fighting in the back. And I knew this spot was happening. Like, I was waiting for the spot. Not the tennis racket spot, but the spot later. But first of all, so Jericho's coming through. Luther's in a room and he's like, Jericho is beating Ricochet with the tennis racket, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes to the room and Luther just happens to be there
with a bigger tennis racket. And
Taz is going on commentary. He's like, I've never seen anybody in pro wrestling with a tennis racket before. And I'm like, that's not subtle, guys. Like, really, we're going after Cornette? Like, I love me a Duncan of Cornette as much as the next guy, but really, like,
yeah,
I just, so he's like,
that's
you got a bigger tennis racket, and then no different from the Miz holding the fire extinguisher off to the guy and just holding on, just spraying himself and his tag team partner, and be like, let go, just let go. You had the spot with the tennis machine, the ball machine.
I literally said, so as the balls were going out and you're hitting Ricochet, the tennis balls.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just move left?
Yes.
Just move a little bit.
Exit stage left. But he's like dancing, like he's trying to like get around all these tennis balls. So one thing,
speaking of the tennis balls, though, one thing I did think was at least unusual is having the tennis balls instead of like the tacks. I wouldn't want to be landing on the tennis balls.
No,
like I'll give you thumbtacks or tennis balls to land on multiple spots. Which one are you taking? I might take the tacks. Like, it's going to surface hurt.
Yep.
But I feel like the tennis balls could really hurt.
It could really, especially with you landed on a certain point, for sure. But
so I thought that was a bit unusual.
Yeah. But yeah, you got as soon as I saw
I'm so glad you reminded me of the tennis balls, because I literally said, why doesn't he just take like one step to his left?
Yeah. I'm looking at it as like, this is no different from the Miz holding on the fire extinguisher and then putting it on himself.
There's a lot of silly stuff.
I was looking at this and then, you know, I thought the stuff like in ring was actually fine. Like, if it was just purely that, it would have come away being like, it's a little not for me. But then they did the backstage stuff and I'm like, this is just not for me at all. Like, I did not like this. Okay, and then the finish happened.
Jericho wins.
Yeah. So, but I will say Jericho jumping through the table and then pointing up to the sky like Sabu, that was cool. And then, you know, Shivani, like, God bless him, he's trying to sell. I was like, that was amazing. That was incredible. This is the greatest night in the history of sports.
Sometimes he's just over the top. It's like he Tony, says things where you're like, Tony, come on.
It's like, Tony, I love you, but like, you don't have to sell it. I watch the same thing. Yeah. So this is bad. And look, I want to say the same thing I said during so you want me to piss off some AEW fans here?
Yes.
This was the Danhausen with the mini Danhausen versus the Miz and Kit Wilson, but without the magic and a much higher work rate. Because it was a party match. But we're having fun. I don't
think that would piss off people.
I think that would.
So you think this match was like really loved?
I think people liked it, at least from the response I got from some people, because Lee, you're not going to believe this. After I just went on a rant at the Backlash show being like, why is it my responsibility when it comes to having, like, if they didn't entertain me, like, it's not, but I just went on a whole rant about it.
Mhm.
And I had AEW fans reach out to me. He's like, Zach, gotta have some fun.
You're a new man.
I'm a new man, Lee. And it's like, you gotta have some fun. Like, it's a party match. You just gotta, and I'm like, first of all, you would not be saying this about if this was transplanted to a WWE match. And number two, like, was I not having fun before this match? They never talk about that part. They never talk about that part. Lee, I was having a blast during the show.
Give us a good show. I'll have fun.
Yeah, I was having a blast during the show. And they didn't have to do any zany wackiness in order for me to have fun. I was having a blast.
All right, let's.
But no, I'm not done. So now you're coming up to me and you're just being like, Zach, you got to have fun. It's supposed to be zany and wacky. It was like, well, it was stupid and it was no different from what I would see in WWE. So, like you can't go and say you hate WWE for this stuff, but then love the stuff that you would see in WWE. I can't envision it. And again, was I not having fun before this point?
Sounds like you were.
I was having a blast, Lee. It was great. And then all of a sudden this match is like, this isn't great. I'm not having fun. Zach, you got to have fun with this. I was having fun. I'm a fun guy. I love having fun. I'm a big fun guy. All right. But this was not fun. I was looking at it. Was literally like the food fight stuff was one of those deals where it's like, I hope this is my new barometer. If I have to like look as like, God, I hope nobody walks in, then you failed. Like, you think I want somebody to walk in and be like, yeah, this is better than the WWE product as the food fight is happening?
Or the tennis balls.
Or the tennis
hitting
balls.
Ricochet.
And they're like, why aren't you moving? I don't know why he's not moving. So I don't get that. It's like, Zach, you just got to have fun. I was having fun. A fun guy. I love having fun. But this was not fun. And I'm sure there's some AEW fans that are going to roll their eyes and be like, Zach, you got to like change up. Like, not everything has to be Okada to Takeshita. Why not? Why can't it?
Well, it can't be.
I know what they mean, but like, I want more Okada to Takeshita, please. I'll take more high quality pro wrestling. Like, try and sell me why Tommy Invincible has to get his stuff over in the food fight. Just tell me. Why is that fun? Why is him going Invincible fun? Tell me. Why is Satnam Singh eating a cake fun? Tell me. Why is Luther giving a giant tennis racket fun?
Of all the stupid spots, that's the one I enjoyed the most.
The giant tennis
racket? Yeah, I thought it was good. And Taz's comment popped me.
Yeah. Anyways, I said my bit.
It's main event time,
I
Zach.
can't wait for the AEW fans to be mad at me.
I don't think they're going to.
They're going to be mad at me. They're like, Zach, you got to have fun. It's supposed to be zany, wacky. It's the Bucks. It's like, that's why FTR, once again, better than the Bucks. The FTR would never lower themselves to this.
Oh, they might.
Okay, now I'm just...
Yeah, they
now
might.
I'm spoken.
Anyway. Main event time.
Yes.
MJF and Darby Allin, hair versus title. And they came out with the barber chair and the spotlight on the razor, the shears. Now MJF comes out and he's got the robe on. It says 3-time world champion. I was kind of like, oh, that's not good. That's not good for my pick. But Darby came out and I thought they did a good job. Again, I'm really praising this main event with a stipulation that's not always my favorite stipulation in the main event, that they put over that either guy could win. I know you picked MJF and he ended up winning this.
Yep.
But I did think they did a good job at selling people that either guy could win this match. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
Darby came out. He had the promo with Mick at the beginning. Bunch of side headlock takeovers at the beginning, which I thought was a nice like preface to the end and some of the story that they've done. Okay, what are some of the things that you picked out from this main event?
Well, the opening bump that Darby Allin took, and he dove to the outside. I let out a.
Do we think that this was planned?
Yes, yes, and no. I think it was planned for him to take like a devastating spot to the outside.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was planned where he clipped his feet on the rope to make it look like he was going to land on his neck and make it come across worse. I definitely think he was supposed to crash and burn on that spot.
Right.
And MJF was going to take advantage. But as soon as he saw the way that it happened, again, like out of all the Darby bumps, and I know there's been a lot of them, but this was one of the worst looking Darby spots I saw.
So when we saw it on live,
yeah,
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
We saw it on replay. I was kind of like, it's not as bad.
Yeah, he did kind of protect himself.
He kind of tucked.
Yeah.
And didn't hit as badly.
Yeah.
Where I guess I knew he was okay.
Yep. I will, if you could get an audible "Oh sweet Jesus" out of me when you're doing a spot like that.
Right.
I think you definitely pulled it off. And yeah, the replay you saw, it's like, okay, he was able to protect himself from this. I don't think, just from seeing it, I don't think he purposely tried to clip his legs on the ropes or anything like that. I think it just was one of those things that an accident that turned into something great. You know what I mean? And MJF, like, as soon as he saw that, like, he was all right, that smile that he had on his face afterwards, like this guy's great. He's just, they're both fantastic. And this feud, like, anyway, I'll talk about the feud itself, but I thought that was a great, out of all the Darby spots, in terms of like when you initially see it, you're like, oh my God, this is like, you thought he broke his neck on that spot.
Yep.
And then collided into the announce table. It was just like, oh boy.
Okay, so it goes on, and the jumping off the scaffolding.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I saw the scaffolding, like at the beginning of the night, I'm like, this is Darby Allin. I thought they did that really safely.
Yeah, me too.
Like almost to the point where it didn't probably land as well for me, because it was like, oh man, they almost did it so well. It's like no one could really even get hurt on it. Now his head, the back of his head bleeding. Was that a spot?
I think that was a spot.
Okay.
Of the match.
Yeah. I thought so. Like we thought so too, because it looked like he kind of afterwards, like kind of went one way and the camera followed MJF for a bit, and then he came back and his head was bleeding. But I thought that was well done. But still, to me, it's weird to watch Darby Allin get to the point where he does a spot like that, and you're just kind of like, it's just another Darby spot. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I thought it was part of the match. I was like, at first, like, oh, wait. And then I just look, it's like, oh, it just like, this is going to sound weird, but I've been watching wrestling long enough to know what kind of looks like a purposeful blade and what's like, oh, that's a hard way color. And that one did not look like a hard way color to me. Like that one looked like.
But you don't often see blading on the back of the head.
No, it is something different for sure. And in the initial moment, like I was like, oh, did he hit the back of his head? Like, and because of the way that Darby Allin is, you could totally believe that he had landed on the back of his head coming off of that spot.
So we got a new world champion, Tombstone Piledriver off the top.
Which got some distance, by the way.
It was great.
It was a great looking spot.
Were you surprised MJF won? Not, I know you picked him, but like when he pinned him, were you surprised?
At that point in the match, yes. I thought they would go a little bit more. But you know what? So often we've been conditioned to be like signature, finisher, boom, end, right? That stuff like this, where you have like a big move like that, an avalanche tombstone pile driver with the air that it got. I think it's refreshing to have matches kind of finish off like that, especially when
I could not agree more.
Yeah, especially with the way that Darby Allin was bleeding at the top of the head. It was very refreshing to see a finish like that. So I didn't mind that being the finish. And sometimes it's okay to have kind of the shock value. It was like, oh, that's it, and that's what it got for me. So in terms of the actual finish itself, I was surprised that kind of happened. But I thought it was a smart finish. I really liked it. And look, I picked MJF, but this was a roller coaster of emotions throughout the night for me, because I was like, especially after the Takeshita Okada match, I'm like, oh, how am I going to get on the show here this week? How am I going to look? And it was a roller coaster of when you saw when I saw the clippers or whatever, the razor and the table and the chair, I was like, oh, like they're not saying this stuff if they're not going to do something in my mind.
Right.
And then
that's what I mean. They did a lot of subtle stuff, even the pep talk from Mick Foley.
Yep.
Like, do it for the weirdos, do it for the people here. And it was like, oh,
yeah. I was like, oh, maybe this is going to happen. But yeah, and ended up being with MJF winning. And I still firmly believe this is the right call to do it at this point. I don't know if they could have gone longer with the Darby Allin stuff. I think that was the perfect exit point to do something like this, and to get the belt back onto MJF. And what we saw afterwards, I think, sets up a different program for Darby Allin.
Sigh. So I told you earlier in the show that when you have a great match, I don't know if this was a great match, but it was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
The angle at the end better be just as good. If you're going to run an angle, especially in the main event, like, okay, put it this way. Kevin Knight comes out, looks like he's saving Darby Allin from MJF standing over him on the stretcher and all this stuff. And then Kevin Knight turns on Darby Allin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to get you to explain to me why, after a really, really, really good show, why a heel turn for Kevin Knight is something you wanted to end the night with. This reminded me of them switching the world title. And I know that Kevin Knight wasn't involved in the switch, but they switched the title not that long ago because Hook came back. And Hook was the reason why Hangman Page lost the title of Samoa Joe. Hook.
Yep. Send Hook.
What have they done with him since? And I know they're going to do probably a little bit more with Kevin Knight, but man, this fell flat for me. I've told you that I'm not feeling what other people are feeling about Kevin Knight. Really good athlete. The connection that he has, I'm not connecting with him. Ending a pay-per-view with Kevin Knight turning heel after everything that happened, I'm like, guys, come on. So it did fall flat for me, where they did the angle with Kyle Fletcher in the other match. And I'm like, okay, that's how you accentuate an even, greater match. I don't know what the Kevin Knight thing did other than put him in a program. Like, don't end pay-per-views putting like, oh, now I know what Darby's going to do. Like, I can watch Dynamite and figure that out.
Yeah.
So I didn't love this.
So I think I'm a little bit higher on it, only because I am intrigued about the possibilities of where it could go. I don't mind doing a tease for your television on your pay-per-view because you're going to have a big audience and you want to make sure people are tuning in to Dynamite to see what's going to happen.
Like now, Randy Orton.
Yes, like Randy Orton, which we never got. But I will say this in terms of Kevin Knight. I don't know if I see the same highs that a lot of other people do either. I think, though, that I am intrigued on where it goes because I do find it refreshing that we're getting to see a guy just get a push. And just because I think we can both agree, it looks like Kevin Knight's getting the rocket pack here. And getting at least as somebody that could be competitive in the main event scene. I
remind people what Tony Khan said, like at the end of 2025, where they said, "Who do you see like in 2026 being?" And he mentioned two people in particular, and it was Willow Nightingale and Kevin Knight.
Yep, exactly.
And they're both like,
yeah, exactly. So I am intrigued on that aspect where it's like, you know what? How often do we see in pro wrestling where you hear about guys like, oh, but he doesn't have this, but he doesn't have that. It's like, sometimes you just got to throw them in the fire and like see what they got and see. And Kevin Knight's 28, 29, like he's in his late 20s. Like, let's see what we got here with Kevin Knight. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So I am intrigued on that sense because like we're getting a new guy and they are clearly putting a focus on a new guy. And is it risky to put it at the end of your big pay-per-view like a Double or Nothing? Yes, absolutely. This is going to be one of those deals where, you know, people will look back and it'll either be, wow, this was the start of the ascent of new superstar Kevin Knight, or this is the start of a guy that's push failed in Kevin Knight. It's really going to go either way. But I do appreciate that risk being taken. And I will say, I don't know about you, I wasn't expecting him to be the one to turn heel.
I was.
You were?
Yeah.
I thought maybe with the speed, I thought Speedball was laying it on a little bit too much, and I thought maybe a heel Speedball. It would be weird, but it's something different.
I've got the vibe from him the entire time that he's got this sort of unlikable thing about him. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's a little bit of that arrogance. You know, the way that he talks. I think they've laid it out well. I just don't know if I can get behind the heel run, but I think they've laid it out well. I always thought that he was the one that was going to turn. And they've definitely set up programs now with Darby and Speedball already.
Like with the Revolution show, or not the Revolution. What's the show that's now called not Retribution? What's it called?
Redemption.
I fully expect that to be a Kevin Knight Speedball TNT championship match, especially with Speedball in Montreal. I think that just works perfectly for that. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see where it goes. Now, am I 100% confident he's going to be a main event guy?
But my point here is not, okay, they're taking a risk on a guy, but tell me why on Dynamite, Darby Allin couldn't have come out, got a bit of the upper hand initially, but MJF is like, no, I'm done with you. And he, you know, beats him up really good. And Kevin Knight comes out to make the save, and they do the exact same thing. Why do I need to see it at the end of a pay-per-view to set it up? Like, I always think that these shows are different because they end feuds and they do it right, and you get great wrestling. And it's not the WWE with Randy Orton standing over a guy at WrestleMania and hasn't been seen since. Like, oh my God. So I just think that this is the opposite. And I don't know that the push is any bigger at the end of the pay-per-view as it would be in the main event segment of Dynamite coming up on Wednesday.
Right. I think that's fair. I did feel like it was a bit rushed at the end. That's for sure. I definitely felt like they really kind of, it was sudden, and then we kind of went off the air with it. And I wish it could have breathed a little bit more at the end to really kind of settle it in. But again, this will be a test. Here's the thing. When Kyle Fletcher, when it was clear that they were going to start the ascent of Kyle Fletcher, you and I both on record on this podcast, when he had those first couple of promos where others were saying they didn't love his promo. It's like, is he going to be a guy? We both went on this show and we're like, that's a star in the making right there. Like, give him a couple of more chances on the mic, and I think he'll really transform into something. And now he's arguably at least a top 5 in-ring wrestler in the world. And bound to at one point win the AEW World Championship. With Kevin Knight, I don't think it has been as much of a flashing sign. There's been guys where we looked at, like, we saw Swerve Strickland, we were like, flashing sign. As soon as that first night he showed up in AEW, I went to you, Lee, and I said, this guy's a star. Like, this is a guy that could be a main event guy. And we saw that with Fletcher. I don't get that with Kevin Knight, but I do think he could be very good. Who knows? Sometimes with guys, you have to throw him out there to see what he can do. I think with Kevin Knight, he might be an upper mid-card guy, but we'll see with the push. And you got to take big swings sometimes with guys, especially if you're Tony Khan and you really, truly feel like this is a guy. I joke about him and his love for Scorpio Sky and putting him in different pushes, but at least he's committed to something and saying, look, I think this guy could be something, going to find something for him to do. Anthony Bowens is another one I always mention where it's like, and I was somebody that liked Anthony Bowens. So like, I think you could try something, and I still think that, but they have not found the gimmick for him that's really connected. So we'll see with Kevin Knight. Maybe like all of a sudden he has that one promo where it just everything clicks and you're like, and maybe that's what he needs is a change in character where you really start to see this star power that they see in the back. And maybe that's when it shifts. And if he does come out and you're like, okay, this is a main event heel that they've got ready in the wings, then I think there's something exciting. But yeah, it is absolutely a risk. It is bold to do it at the end of your pay-per-view. I will say, I thought the bump itself was a pretty gnarly bump, doing that twisting UFO style splash on Darby Allin while he's still on the stretcher. There it was a gnarly bump, but yeah.
Nah.
Are you taking that bump, Lee?
What, if I'm Darby? Or if I'm Kevin Knight?
Both.
Well, if I'm Darby, yeah.
Yeah. Strapped to a stretcher and
Darby.
You don't have to put your hands up to make sure.
That's fine. You know what? I don't know. He's missing something with me, so it definitely fell flat. Now, after the show, I think it was either that night or the next day. Sorry, I heard a noise.
Yeah, me too. I thought it sounded like a car engine.
It might be a car.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know
who pops by the
palatial estates. Somebody's making a run estates.
You never know.
Yep.
But I saw, like, at least at first, that Cage Match had this like as the greatest.
Yeah, really only behind the Hana Kimura Memorial Show and the Brody Lee Memorial Show.
Right. But the AEW pay-per-view is the best one.
Yeah.
Is it still?
I don't think it's the best one, but Lee, I thought this was one of the best AEW pay-per-views I saw. And I know I just went on the rant about the Stadium Stampede, but boy, I thought the collection of matches here, the pacing, I love the pacing of this show for a 4-hour show.
Mm-hmm.
You're locking me into 4.5 hours, whatever. I thought the pacing was tremendous. Okada, Takeshita, and the segment afterwards. And I thought you got a lot of tremendous matches on this show. Stadium Stampede aside, I still thought this was on the higher end of AEW pay-per-views, and this might end up being my show of the year at the end of the year. I love the show.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it all came together. I really like that. I actually really like that main event. I obviously loved Okada Takeshita. I love the Samoa Joe Will Ospreay match.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that finishing sequence with Swerve and Bandito was tremendous. I thought the 4-way women's match was like, I didn't think there was a bad match on this show, on the main show. Like, even like the worst match on this show was good. And if you've got that going for you, and plus everything else.
So how much do you think the crowd, though, helped that?
I think it certainly definitely helped. Because
if you get a dead crowd in there,
yeah,
and Mina and Athena go out there, and then the 4-way women's title match, then the Stadium Stampede, like,
yeah,
okay,
I totally hear you, but that opening match was very good. Like, there was at least 4 or 5 matches that I thought were at least very good to great. And in one case, a match of the year contender at the end of the year. I really like, if you were to ask me, like, remember when we did the Revolution review,
which I'm just going over the Revolution card right now.
Yep.
Reminding myself of all the matches.
Yeah.
So this one is definitely behind Revolution for me.
So here's the interesting thing. If remember when I said that first hour or two of Revolution, I'm like, oh my God, this might be the best wrestling show I've ever seen from AEW. And then it just kind of fell off afterwards. I thought it did not reach the peak of that, but other than Okada Takeshita, but pacing, matches, crowd environment, look, production, and again, the fact that there was not a bad match on the show. Like, I didn't, other than, again, Stadium Stampede, but I feel like that one's going to be like a coin flip for other people. I truly believe, I think I'm in the minority on it. But you also didn't like Stadium Stampede either. No. I got the sense that people really enjoyed that match, and it was the same arguments of like, oh, you gotta have fun, blah, blah, blah. So,
but I, as a guy that doesn't necessarily like fun,
we're no fun havers at all,
right? I kind of knew, okay, I gotta get through this to get to the main event.
Yep,
and I'm gonna try and pick out a couple things that I don't mind about it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 14 guys. So, like, they're all getting paid and good for them. And I thought, like, the entrance, like, the video was cool that they made. So, yeah, I mean, but did I love the match? No. So what's your total? What's your score?
I think I said with the Revolution show was like an 8.75. It was so close to reaching that. Like, my grading is a 9 to a 10. For me, this AEW show was a 9. I really, honestly, like, if Stadium Stampede was just everything in the ring, like all the chaos in the ring, I probably wouldn't. I don't know if I would have loved it, but I certainly wouldn't have hated it as much as I did. It's honestly the only thing that really holds it back. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention the Kyle O'Reilly versus John Moxley match, and I have to bring it up. We got to stop getting Jim Ross out there. He's done. We got to stop this.
Yeah.
Like,
why did they?
I don't know. Like, why? Like,
it was awkward.
I don't understand. Like, if you want, I understand you. Look, Jim Ross is a guy that loves to work, and he has mentioned that too. And like, he just doesn't know a life where he's not working. So I just don't understand why you don't have, like, you know, with like, I'll bring an auto example. Brian Kilray was like a special advisor to the 67s. It still is, as far as I know. And he's like 92, 93. Because that's a guy that's like lives, breathes, eats hockey, and wants to still be involved. I don't understand why you can't have Jim Ross in that sort of role and have him, like, you could still have him go to the shows and talent can go chat with him and all that. And I don't understand why he still has to go out there, and because he's like, we got a new champion with John Moxley on the call.
I know.
And he kept calling Kyle O'Reilly a kid.
It was awkward.
It's just like,
it was awkward.
And especially like, that might get me in trouble. Especially with the news that came out about him saying that he's being screened for Alzheimer's and dementia.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? Why are we throwing him out there?
I agree. I think you can, like, at some point you got to be the adult in the room to take him and put him in another spot. Like, you want him around. You make him feel important. You want him because he is important.
Yeah.
Like, he lends a credibility to the show, but not on commentary.
No, I totally understand if you want to have him under your payroll and you respect him and his contributions to the business, and if you feel like he helped launch the company, absolutely. But he doesn't need to be in calling matches at this stage. If they wanted to do, I heard this idea on one of the podcasts was, if they had a show in Oklahoma and you want to do one last match with Jim Ross, and it's like on the call and have that be Jim Ross calls his final pro wrestling match, you want to sell that, I don't think I have a problem with that. And just say, look, this is your final match, and now we're going to transition you to a special advisor role at AEW, and you can contribute on stuff and you can talk with talent. I think that's perfect. But that was the other one I forgot to mention that I felt like we got to stop with the Jim Ross stuff in 2026.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
do you remember my rating for Revolution?
I think you gave it higher than an 8.75. I think you gave it like a 9.25. I think
9.25.
I think it was a 9.25. It's certainly in the 9 range.
Okay, so this one will not be for me.
No.
Again, really good show. Really enjoyed it. Again, sometimes when we talk about it, if you don't like something, sometimes it comes across as harsher because, like, the bar is so much higher with this company, and they're doing so many good things that kind of like, but you watch sports and your team's really good, but like there's one aspect, like the penalty kill, or in hockey, it might not be great.
Yep.
The rest of the team is great, and you want the penalty kill to be great because you want everything to be great.
Yep.
That's kind of how I feel about this. So, I can tell you that no show ending with a Kevin Knight heel turn is going to get more than a 9 for me.
I think that's fair.
I found the last two matches. I liked MJF and Darby because I still didn't know in the middle of the match who was going to win. And I really enjoyed that. I thought they did, as you said, showing the barber chair and the shears and some of the promos that they were doing. But MJF's got 3rd world championship thing on his robe.
Yep.
I loved all of this stuff. So many little details that they are doing well, but just too many misses for me when it comes to the Stadium Stampede, when it comes to Kevin Knight. Look, the women's matches were very forgettable to me. I would never tell people to go back and watch them.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this show really good. Like, again, if you're not a wrestling fan, if you're just a WWE fan, I do know that the champion, who's a big WWE guy, is saying that he was really excited to watch this show in particular because of the build and some of the things, like he's getting more into it. And I think the show helped with some of those things that he's still coming across. And he really enjoyed himself. There's just too many, I don't say misses, but too many things that I kind of went, and I found myself looking at the people that I particularly enjoy as opposed to the rest of the card just being great and consistent all the way. I really like Will Ospreay. Well, he was great. And his opponent was great too in Samoa Joe. I really like Swerve Strickland. Well, Bandito was really good too, along with him. I really enjoy both Okada and Takeshita. Well, they were both great too.
Yep.
But I need a little bit more sometimes from the people that I don't already love. I want a few standouts to go, you know what? I haven't really given this person my full attention, but man, I should, because look at what they're doing. I didn't feel like this show brought that out. I go back to the Revolution show and man, so many good matches, but FTR and the Bucks, Tony Storm and Marina Shafir, Swerve Strickland, Brody King, when Mystico and Jet Speed won the World Trios Championship, Andrade and Bandito, and both of those guys, I kind of feel a little bit like, yeah, I know they're great. I just don't personally have this connection. They kind of brought it out in that. And then Hangman Page and MJF was so good at the end, the Texas Death Match. I'm finding myself with a show like this, really, really enjoying it, but sort of glomming on to the people I already like, as opposed to nobody on this show. And I got to get the card back up here. I'm trying to remember. Nobody on the show that I kind of felt lukewarm about elevated for me into that top. Like, wow, okay.
Yep.
Like now they're here. Like, and that's not Kevin Knight for me. I was really happy that Kyle Fletcher was back, but I'm trying to think of other matches on this card that people that I don't necessarily love, I don't hate, like Mina and Athena. No, I thought Moxley and O'Reilly was just, it was good, but it wasn't great. The two quarterfinals I thought were great. But I already really like those guys. The four-way women's match didn't really elevate me from somebody else. And then you had the Stadium Stampede, and then you had, Darby and MJF, which I don't think people are going to go back and remember this match from Darby and MJF. I think they're going to remember other ones.
Okay. I think that's fair. And one of the things I want to mention too with MJF Darby is that I think that's an under-talked feud defining feud for the company.
Oh, 100%. But I remember like MJF beating him with a side headlock takeover.
Yep.
And I remember Darby beating him in 2 minutes and whatever for the world title. Yep. I remember both of those matches more than I'm going to remember this one. And that doesn't mean that this one was bad.
Yep.
So yeah, for me, who likes to give it a little bit more of a rating than you do, I'm going to put this one at a solid 8.5.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Like a really good show.
Yep.
Like a show that I would want people to watch most of the show, especially like probably about 4 of the matches. I would be like, no, you need to watch these.
That's where it takes it to me to be in that 9, and it's a low, like it's a low 9. Again, if that Stadium Stampede match was better, I would even rate it high. I really liked a lot of this show. When you have me standing up and saying pro wrestling is back during one of the matches and for a segment afterwards, and having the peaks as high as it did during this show, I think I'm higher on some of the matches than you are. But again, really the only thing that holds the show back for me is Stadium Stampede, where I was really like, this is kind of a waste.
Okay, so I want to bring something up with you.
Sure.
That I thought during the match that I'm like, man, I'm having a hard time thinking about somebody. When is the last time or the last person or a couple of people that you remember that have been like, I guess, as true and pure babyface that are over to the level, like, I guess what I'm saying is that it's been hard for a while. I think since the Attitude Era, I think since some of the things that happened in the 2000s in the WWE, I think it's hard to be a true babyface where like everybody loves you. Like the casuals love you.
Yep.
The mid people who like wrestling, but they're not watching it like every single day, plus the people who watch it, 4, 5, 6 times a week. Like they watch Raw, they watch SmackDown, they watch, Dynamite, they watch Collision, they watch TNA. A babyface that's over with all of those people. The casuals, the mid wrestling fan, the hardcore, like true, they're over with everybody.
Right.
Like I think I would have said, like in the last even like 10 years, 20 years, I mean, I guess John Cena at one point was that guy.
Latter point of John Cena for sure.
I thought Cody for the WWE for, I would say, a small amount of time. And when I say small, I mean a couple of years.
Yep.
Was that guy, but you can, like, fans have started already to kind of turn on Cody, and he's getting a little bit more of what we call the John Cena reaction with like half of the crowd loves you and half the crowd, loves to hate you and they boo you. But I mean like a genuine love from everybody. And that weren't like, you go back to some of the, like, to me, like the 80s. I just watched the A&E doc on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
There you go.
Very good, by the way. Obviously, he was a babyface, right? Like people loved Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Never turned heel in his career.
No, which
is wild,
right? Rock and Roll Express at their top. Like the women loved them and the casuals loved them, but then the hardcores would go in. They had the best match of the night again.
Yep.
Right? Like,
yep.
So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that true, they're identifying with so many different levels. So who would you say in the last 20, 30 years? Like I know I've just mentioned Cena.
Yep.
Couple of years for Cody.
If the last 20, 30 years, I would say Steve Austin.
Yeah, I mean, when he tried to go heel, it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. But like the peak of Steve Austin for sure, a couple of years there where everybody, I don't know if The Rock was as loved by everybody. Kurt Angle, although I've read some old 2005 because I'm a nerd. I read old 2005. It's like, he's not working his character right with Kurt Angle because we're wrestling smarts, right? And we got to break stuff down. So, like, I used to think Kurt Angle. I was gonna say a guy. I was gonna say Benoit for a brief time. Obviously, before.
Yeah, like Benoit is a tough guy to talk about because it always revolves back to the end, right?
Yep.
But
Cody, I think for sure belongs on that list. Will Ospreay, I think, has now belongs.
So my point to this is, I don't know of a guy that is absolutely beloved by everybody.
Right.
Like to the point where I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm at the point now where if they do not put the title on Will Ospreay in Wembley in August and they miss this point where you were like apoplectic that they missed the Cody point, and I'm like, Zach, everything's going to be okay.
They still missed it for the record, but
no, they didn't.
I think I think they still missed it, but that's a topic for another day.
It is. It's like our evergreen.
Yeah, that's the one that we always go back to.
But, but if they miss the point here with Will Ospreay now, I'm going to have a hard time trusting the company. I'm telling you right now.
Yep.
Like, and that sounds like such a mark, like such a go get him.
Yeah.
Go get him, and then being the upset fan at the end when they don't get him.
Yep.
Like I'm visibly upset. That's going to be me, because I honestly, Zach, do not know of a guy that is just universally beloved. Like, when other guys, even like the top baby faces, are getting 90% cheers, but you always got, those one or two people in the crowd. Not that you ever used to be that guy.
Right.
But maybe like to go on the other side of things.
Yeah.
And like to.
I've certainly not seen you at C4 shows doing that with some wrestlers.
Listen, I told you McCray Martin is going to get stabbed by Junior, and Junior went and did it in another promotion, but Junior went and did exactly what I said he was going to do. And so will London.
Yeah.
So both of those guys, but my point is, I have not met one person. I have not seen a person on TV. I have not seen anybody not like Will Ospreay. Like it's incredible to me that I think back and go, like, not even like the 1% or the 2% of the people who like to just do the opposite of what everyone else likes to do. Even they like Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen a babyface like this in a very, very long time that truly is going to get to the peak and carry the company. When that guy came out in New York, like, New York City's sometimes not an easy crowd.
Yeah, gotta be sparky.
Right. And that's okay. Like, Philly's like that. Chicago's like that.
Really, that Northeast area especially is very, very smarky.
But that's kind of the attitude of the area in general, not even like as a wrestling crowd. They're like, even they love Will Ospreay.
Yep.
Find me a person that goes to events and boos Will Ospreay, or is like, I don't get what everyone else gets about that guy. So I'm at the point where I'm going to be visibly upset. And I think he might be one of the greatest baby faces ever in the history of pro wrestling by the time we're done. That's because I cannot remember in my history of watching a person come up. And look, we talked about Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, never turned heel. Other people that didn't turn heel, but like, they were Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Yeah, he beat Ric Flair, and it was a fun little couple months, but he was still a mid-carder, right? Like a guy you could put on the card and everyone's gonna love, but we're not really considering him for the world title.
Right.
And actually on the documentary, it's fascinating about, like, he felt absolutely betrayed, which I didn't really know. When Flair beat him in Nashville at the end of that trilogy, and they did the angle with Terry Funk that same night, he was like, I thought I was getting rematches. I thought the program was for me and Flair for the rest of the summer.
Wow.
Nope. And he felt betrayed by that. Like, he's like, I literally walked out and I was like, they're done with me. I just think that we might be witnessing right now the run of one of the greatest baby faces ever. Because he's so great at what he does, it brings along all the different levels. It brings along the casual fan that goes, oh, wow, that guy's really, really cool.
Yeah.
The mid fan that's like, oh yeah, no, I've seen this guy. Kind of saw him in Japan a little bit. And yeah, he's really good. And then like the hardcore people who usually, the no fun people, you and me, right? I don't like anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that if they miss the point here with Will Ospreay, I am going to lose trust in the company that I love.
Yep.
That's how passionate I feel about him winning the title at Wembley.
Because there's no guarantee they're coming back to Wembley next year.
No, not at all.
So.
No, I'm telling you, I just think he might be one of the best baby faces ever. Like, he's so genuine in how he comes across. He's so relatable. And his ability is like he's if he's not the best in the world, he's in a discussion for the best in the world.
For sure.
And with all of that said, I'm like, this guy might be one of the greatest baby faces in the history of pro wrestling. I want someone to tell me, I really do. I want to find somebody to tell me what they don't like about Will Ospreay and what it is about them that they personally don't like or they can't really get into.
Right.
I'd love to hear it.
He says bruv too much. Not my guy.
Yeah, I love bruv. My favorite part is and I say this with all due respect because I love them very, very much, but I got the snarky teenage nieces now.
Oh boy.
Oh, like whatever you think of the snarky teenage, like that's them. Okay. Like next level snark. And at the last family function, whatever they said. Yeah. Okay, bro. And I turned, I was like, what? Yeah. Okay, bro. You shouldn't be saying that, bro. Like, and they were talking.
Are your nieces Vince Russo?
So I turned to them and said, it's bruv. So if you're going,
did they go, oh,
if you're gonna say it, like, fine, you can say it to me all you want, but it's bruv.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Bro, this is a television show, bro.
So they're like, what are you talking about? Like, bruv, what is that? Like, and I started like throughout the course of the day.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, bruv. Whatever you say, bruv. And I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
he started saying bruv.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, you got it over.
That's right.
You got it over.
With the snarkiest of snark.
Wow.
Yeah. Because even they know, it's actually cool. It's actually not bad.
Well, once you say it so many times as well, it just starts getting great. That's why you see with a lot of wrestling companies, as soon as they see something that gets over, like, you know what? Let's just do this in every promo this guy does now for the rest of his career. That's why Okada says the B word all the time.
Dusty Rhodes might be a guy. Like, people love Dusty Rhodes, right?
Oh, yes.
Like, so he might be a guy that I'd put in the category.
Yeah.
But I want people to tell me baby faces that were better for longer than what Will Ospreay is going to do. I really do.
It's a great question.
Like, I can't wait to go see him. Like, he's been a great wrestler. We saw him at Forbidden Door 23 against Kenny Omega. Like, we have our favorites, right?
Yep.
Our guys that we really, really like. Because what's his character? You know what I mean? Like, I love Hangman. I love Hangman's character. I feel like it's very genuine. Like, that he loves into this cowboy bleep role and he plays it really well. And but I also know it's a character. Swerve Strickland, it's a character. Like Samoa Joe, it's a character. Like and I love all these guys. Will Ospreay, I feel like it's just him.
Yep.
Like, what is his character?
Will Ospreay. That's his character.
Like, and now he's doing like I'm good, but I guess I'm not that good. So I'm gonna have to listen to the Death Riders and I'm gonna have to get that 1% better. And like, just poor old me. Oh, shucks, Will. Like,
tagging his wife on Twitter.
Right. But anything he does turns to gold.
Yeah. And he gets it.
Anything he does.
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes, maybe right now, like better babyface.
Yeah. I Dusty would be a good comp and his whole thing was chasing after the belt during his era. So
it worries me.
Are you worried that Will's going to continuously be chasing? And
I'm worried that he's going to win. Like, I don't think they're going to miss the mark at Wembley. I really don't.
He'll win the title at Wembley.
Like, if they do, it would be catastrophic mistake.
Yeah.
And I will be on here yelling like the WWE and all that stuff. But Yeah, like I don't think they're going to miss the mark with that. I'm worried that they're going to take it off of them 2 months later to chase again. That's what I'm worried about. But we're not there yet, Zach.
Not there yet. Still many more months to go.
Where we are is the Zach McGibbon liked a show better than I liked it.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
I'm a new man, Lee. What can I say?
Well, Zach, I did promise people that we're going to talk about all this other stuff, and we're 2 hours and 34 minutes into it. So it might be on another show.
Okay.
But we'll see if you're a new man with Saturday night's main event, Clash in Italy.
Yeah.
Coming up. Yeah, I'm going to save the WWE stuff because I think there's a lot. Brock Lesnar's back.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about that.
The man who said he's retired, but also still going to kick Obafemi's ass. But he's retired.
Who said he retired?
Brock Lesnar. Well, Brock Lesnar said like this retired in that promo on Raw. He's like, I'm retired, but I'm also going to kick your ass, essentially. I'm like, well, that's kind of, you can't have both. You can't be retired and also wrestling.
He never retired, though.
Well,
he left his boots in the ring, never said anything.
Well, it's the symbol of retirement in pro wrestling.
Yeah, maybe. But
and then only for him to come back a few weeks later.
My favorite part is that one of the guys, I don't know if he'll listen, text me and was like, oh no, he's definitely retired. I'm like, you want to bet? Like, I'll bet you any amount of money.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I've been watching for 40 years. Like, I know.
Ooh, you got hit with the, I've been watching wrestling for so long.
And he's older than me. And like,
not
by much. Tough to be older than me. But
I will say, though, he sold me enough, Brock did, where I was like, I don't know if he's, but he is back. And it only took, a few weeks, a month.
That's what I mean.
It's like you couldn't have waited a little longer.
I texted this guy right away.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bruv.
And did he text bruv back? And
he gave some like, I really don't like the direction that they're going and like all this other stuff. Like other than I was wrong.
This guy.
Other than I was wrong. He never said that.
Okay. Well, that's what I know you're looking for. You're like, look, I'm just looking for an apology.
No, his whatever long ramble was back was plenty for me to go, all I see is you're wrong.
Yeah. It's the Bo Dallas running around.
Yeah, I was doing that.
Celebration at the lap.
It felt good. But I give this guy credit. He's not necessarily an AEW fan. And I haven't talked to him, but he was texting me about how to get the show. And I think he might have bought the show to watch on Sunday.
There you go.
Okay, so I do want to talk about C4 quickly before we go, because you were there on Friday night. We'll do, folks, I promise, we'll have a different show come out soon. We can't just do 3 hour after 3 hour after 3 hour show and have this left. I'm a working man these days.
You are a working man.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. It's tough to reach it now that you're a working man.
Well, it is. My favorite part is like one of my bosses that doesn't work here. He works remotely like you, like on council meetings.
Yeah.
And he's here like every so often, but like, text me something like in a group, but text me something like of something I should change that day at like 8:50 in the morning. And I got it at like 3:30 in the afternoon. And I texted him back and was like, just trying to be the good employee, not on their phone all day. Guess I'm
like I am right now.
Guess I'll need to start. Yeah, but you're a busy guy.
Well, that, and I'm trying to pull up the card from the C4 show so I can together.
Look, you might be worried about Belleville Council. Like, what if they have an emergency meeting?
God help me if that happens. Somebody else will have to cover that, unfortunately.
Yeah, because you're on holidays this Tuesday to Friday.
That's right. It's like, you're gonna have to find somebody else.
Can't get me.
Yeah, sorry, brother. That's not gonna work for me, brother. That's not gonna work for me, brother.
I actually find it hilarious that you came to Ottawa, but then drove back to Belleville.
Yep.
And without giving too much away on a live show, but then came to Ottawa and then worked remotely from home.
Correct.
Back in Belleville.
Yeah.
So you literally drove home to be. That's another Skyhawks first down.
A first down, Skyhawks.
There you
go.
See, that's what we needed.
That's all I get it. I don't do it as well as the sound effect.
Have you gone back to that show where Michael Cole got the text from his buddy and said, "This is wrestling"?
You know what,
Zach?
You know that's
no.
It's been tough. You know, I'm going back and forth between Belleville and Ottawa.
Are you? Good news. I know what you're doing this week. And
Damn
it's
it.
Sweet bleep all.
Oh, I was hoping that you would forget about that.
No, I haven't forgotten about it at all.
It just would feel. It feels wrongly. It just.
Why don't we listen to the clip, get it, listen to it, and then see and hear if it feels wrong? I think that's fair.
Knowing the context of it, though, like it would just
nobody else listening is going to know the context.
Yeah, but I do.
Yeah,
that's going to be like. What about me?
Yeah, I know.
What about me?
C4.
So I got the card up here now. After much, for some reason it hasn't been put up on Cage Match yet. I guess because it hasn't, as we're recording, it hasn't aired yet. So I don't think it's up on.
So last Friday, C4, I believe it's the second last show because the season finale is coming up in June 19th is the next show. First time I've been to a C4 show solo, like just usually in a while, in a while, like last couple of shows I've usually gone with you and the rest of the This Is Wrestling crew. So really I kind of got the chance to take it all in solo. So I was just kind of back in the crowd and just chatting with folks. I had some good conversations. I'll tell you about a conversation I had with somebody we know that I think ended up really well as well. So good.
So, but a lot of good stuff.
Like on the air or off the air?
Off the air. I'll tell you off the air.
You can't tell me on the air?
Nice. I don't know.
Okay.
It was a good convo.
Okay.
It was somebody we've spoken to.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but I just be on the safe side. It's my reporter side, coming through and be like, I don't know. I'll keep it off the record, but
okay.
But he will appreciate that I've chatted with you. No, I had a good time. This was C4's A Better Tomorrow. And that was at the Preston Event Center. Came in during the pre-show.
Was that the Battle Royal?
That was the Battle Royal to determine who was going to face off against Sheldon Jean for the C4 Championship later on in the night.
Okay.
And I got to tell you,
I don't know anything about the card, and I know who won that match. That's the only thing I know.
You know who won the match?
Yes.
Who won the match?
I think.
Tell me who won the match.
Puff.
Puff did win the match. Yeah. Yes. There you go.
See?
You're on top of it.
I know. Yeah, I told
You're
you.
on top of it. So I was a little surprised about Puff winning. And the thing is as I was watching the show, they had this battle royal put together, and there's a lot of the guys that were in there are guys that are familiar to the local scene. So like guys like KJ Swade, Thomas LeDuc, Xander Orion, local guys. Hardcam was not in the battle royal.
Oh man,
this is his brother that was in the Mad Lad, Thomas LeDuc.
Soft cam.
Not soft cam. Oh. That would be something. Roman cam. But B footage.
Sounds like a good tag team to me.
B-roll, Thomas LeDuc.
That sounds like a good.
I gotta
hard
pitch that
cam
to
and
him.
B-roll.
I gotta pitch that to him. So I was looking at the contestants, and I was kind of like, if you're gonna have a challenger for considering just pushes on screen, like KJ, like there are guys there that I like, but in terms of like being pushed on the main C4 show, I was kind of like, oh, this is not as much. Now I had been told that like a couple of the wrestlers that were supposed to be in this battle royal, they weren't able to make it to the booking, so that's what ended up being, because they were also short staffed on security that night. So I was like, okay, but Puff was an interesting pick. At first I wasn't really seeing the vision, because I was like, Puff is more of a comedy character there. Like obviously won the tag team championships there with Pretty Ricky Wilde. But I was like, oh, challenging for the title against Sheldon, but kind of put a pin on that for a little bit later. I was like, okay, Puff is kind of an interesting one. I don't know if I would have picked Puff, but once the main event happened, I understood the booking and the thought process behind it. So opening match was the tag team championships. It was the Rogues taking on Project 8100. And I really like Project 8100. I don't know if they had the greatest chemistry with the Rogues.
Right.
when I was watching. It was just like, especially
Did they have their manager out?
Yeah, they had MVP Michael
Von Payton.
Von Payton, who's been a staple in the indie scene for a long time.
Yeah.
He was MVP before MVP.
Was he yelling on the microphone like he was when we were there?
He was yelling at the end. It's like, say hello to your new C4. There's your spoiler. New C4 tag team champions in Project A100. He did get on the microphone.
But like the introduction, he didn't do the introduction.
He wasn't there for the introduction. He ran in during the match.
Okay.
And this was one of the critiques I was going to say. Now, there was a spot where Dexter Doom did a dive to the outside, and I call it the pencil, where it looked like he was straight up.
Yeah.
But he was head down first.
Ooh.
And from my vantage point, I was like, oh my God. And they came in, and apparently like he had twisted enough, similar to like Darby Allin where it's just like he landed and he was fine. But like the referee came over and was like, you good? You good? And he's like, yeah, it landed. It's like, it looked really bad. So,
right.
I kind of like the Rogues. They're a younger team. But I don't know if they had the greatest chemistry, especially the finish, because they try to do this roll up deal where MVP's given the belts to him and he's going to hit him, but it took a long time to develop. He gave him and then they rolled through, but he didn't hit him. Then they rolled back into another pin and then they rolled back and then hit the title.
Okay.
I was like, oh, it looked a little off, but they did win they are the new C4 tag team champions. So like opening match is like, yeah. And then the second match was Von Vertigo and his crew,
my boy.
And that was revealed. Vaughn was very upset on social media about his mystery opponents the mystery opponents that he was going to face off being revealed against Myun Jae Lee and his team. So it's Vaughn with Drea Mitchell, Brent Banks, and Johnny DeLuca. Johnny DeLuca, by the way, I'm always been impressed whenever he shows up. He's wrestles out of Kitchener, I believe. I know he's wrestled mainly in Hamilton. And Myun Jae Lee, he comes out. His tag team partner is Leah Sparks. And then it's Josh Bishop and WWE ID prospect Sam Holloway.
Okay.
The two really big dudes. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Two really
and Leah Sparks is very small.
Very small.
So like that would have been like a good.
Yes, it's a dichotomy thing. And Leah Sparks has been somebody that's been gaining some traction. I've called a couple of her matches in Acclaim.
Yeah.
Aerial List. She was on Canada's Got Talent as well.
She's got a little bit of that, what I would say, like nothing she does is like, oh wow, that's incredible. Yeah. But she's got that likable factor. Like you kind of really want to root for her.
Yeah.
Like
there's a funny thing on the indies right now. She's been posting up a lot of Instagram reels and and one of the reels was just like her sitting off. It's like, nobody calls me Big Dog. I want to be called Big Dog like everybody else. Like it was just like one of those funny things. And in wrestling, once you have that, everyone's like, so ever since it's like, Big Dog, how's it going, Big Dog? And blah, blah, blah. And so even at Acclaim, they're calling her the Big Dog, Leah Sparks, which is pretty funny.
It's just, I guess it's a genuineness.
Oh yeah.
That she seems to have. Yeah. And like, if you're going to be a baby face and you want people to root for you.
Yeah.
Just be genuine.
Yep.
And I always remember the show that we went to, the last show, that she was out there and she was working really hard. And like at the very end, like we stayed around for a while. You wanted to say hi to London Lightning, and we talked to Mark for a while. And we came back, and like, I mean, the room was probably 90% empty at that point. Like, you know, that part where security starts to like, just slowly push this way. And it's like, guys, like, I know you do. It's probably your brother that was like, time to go.
Yes.
Listen, I know you, McGibbon. But my point is that Leah Sparks at the end was still there, just saying goodbye to people.
Yep.
Thanks for coming to the show.
Yep.
And I asked her, I said, I think it's really good that you do this. Like, why do you do this? And she's like, you know, like whether she's in character or not. She's like, I genuinely appreciate people coming. Like, these are the people this is why we do what we do. We're lucky here in C4 to have a really good, loyal crowd. And because she stayed to the very end. And I can tell you how many wrestlers did that.
Yeah.
One. And that was her.
Yep.
And I was just really impressed by that. That
She gets it.
yeah, that she, you know what? And look, sometimes people do things because it's the right thing to do, or they think they're going to look good in the promoter's eyes or whatever it is. It just didn't come across like that at all.
Mhm.
And she was engaging in conversation and making sure she thanked every single person that came out of there. And,
Mhm.
and you know what it's like, long night, and now 90% of the people are gone, and you're almost like 4 hours in. You probably want to get home too.
Yep.
And she was not doing that.
Especially with her, because she's from Montreal. And
Yeah, she was from Montreal. I didn't know that. She doesn't come across. It doesn't have a huge francophone accent.
I think she's based in Montreal. I think she's initially from Toronto.
Right.
So, but she travels back and forth. But
so she would have had to get going.
Yeah.
And so even hearing that impresses me more. I just really like the genuineness that she has when she's out there. It makes you want to root for her.
Yep. And she's somebody I can tell you for a fact, like, people very much really like having her backstage, and just like, she's very good at engaging with people. And and the thing with her character too is that she has, like, it's very easy to get caught up in being like obviously bubbly, nice and whatnot, but she understands that you also have to have a little bit of an edge,
right,
and a little bit of ass kicker in you. So it's not just like you see it's like, oh, bubblegum style, like even in her song it's like says bubblegum, right? But she also calls herself the firecracker, where once the bell rings, like, I'm gonna kick your ass sort of deal. So I think it's a good blend. So so she came out this elimination tag team match. Bishop was so fired up, he like high-fived a fan so hard that his drink fell off his hand. Like, he was like,
that's hilarious.
Like, he's like, ah, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a big Psycho Sid guy, not because he was a great wrestler, but he was just had so much charisma that I'm like, yeah, I believe you, even though you're not good. But like, and Bishop is a better in-ring wrestler than Sid. But if you're going to take somebody's charisma, you absolutely have to do it with Sid. Sam Holloway's a big dude too. So they did this elimination style match. Leah Sparks got eliminated by countout. And then they did a spot where it was Holloway and Bishop. They brought in the doors and they choke slammed two of the wrestlers through the doors. I believe it was DeLuca and Banks. But the doors were not allowed in the match, if I recall. So they got DQ'd. So they got eliminated because it's a tag team elimination match. I didn't really love that. I understood the explanation because they came in and like Banks and DeLuca are knocked out from those choke slams. So they came in and eliminated them from that. Like, I understood the idea. Right. I just don't know if I loved it that much. But in the end, Lee Von Vertigo is able to escape with the victory. Your guy, the V guy. And it had been a little bit, the last time I saw
Triple V, baby.
Triple V.
Von Vertigo versus H.
There you go. Yep. You're vibing
and
with the V.
Don't let Tanner tell you that this is his guy, because this was my guy before it was Tanner's guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the V guy.
Yeah. And he's been somebody that's been taking full advantage of having the international bookings, and he just continues to be better and better. I think the last match that was non-C4 I saw from him, he took on Kerry Morton in Port Hope.
Wow.
The son of Ricky Morton. I'm like, I can't believe I'm watching this right now. It was for the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship too. So it was like, oh boy, like this is something I get to say, yeah, I watched. So I like a lot of the competitors in the matchup. I don't know if I loved everything in terms of how they went and approached the match, but Von Vertigo's continuing the safety gimmick and like, you got to be safe and blah, blah, blah. And Dre Mitchell as well. And so, yeah, that was a solid match. I'm going a little bit out of order here. But I know one of the matches as well that I really liked. I'm going to wax poetic on this. This wasn't the next match, but I'm going to tell you right now, I absolutely love this match.
Okay.
This was Jonathan Gresham versus McCray Martin.
Oh, okay.
And what a shocker that I would love a Jonathan Gresham match, right?
A McCray Martin.
And a McCray Martin.
Another one of my guys.
Yeah, another one of your guys. But I absolutely love this match. And once you hear me describe the match, you're like, oh, of course Zach would absolutely love this match. Right. So, first time ever matchup. And we talked with Mark previously about like, this is the kind of stuff that he's looking for, trying to give new opportunities for guys. Right. And like, this is one of them here. And I absolutely love this match. The way that they built this, like, start off, it was like a feeling each other out process. And Gresham's trying to figure out Hot Stepper and Hot Stepper's trying to figure out Gresham. But it then evolved into Gresham starts targeting
shoulder and arm of Hot Stepper, his left arm. And that's really all he did during the match. Is like, but it's Jonathan Gresham, right? So he turns into these different holds and he's stuck. And the way that it played off with like Gresham is clearly the superior technical wrestler, right? And just like locking in all these different holds, and McRae's like, oh, like I can't, to the point where he's not able to use his left arm during the match.
Right.
It's so targeted. So like all his power stuff is on his right arm and trying to take him down. It was so well worked. I loved this. It was again, what I talk about on the show all the time. It was just simple. And Gresham kept continuing to target the arm. McRae would have these comeback spots and have these big moments trying to take after Gresham. And Gresham was like, they did a great job of sensing the crowd. Hot Stepper was playing more of the baby face in peril, and Gresham was like the cocky heel. Like, I know so much more about pro wrestling and all this technical stuff. And I absolutely loved the finish, because Hot Stepper, he has this one last burst, but he finally gets brought down. And once again, Gresham has that left arm locked in. One shoulder is down, the other shoulder is being lifted up for the arm, and he finally gets one last submission hold on, and then puts the other shoulder down. 1, 2, 3, that's it. And I was like, yes, this is what I'm looking for. I love this. Like, again, it was a surprise pin. It made total sense. Like, his left arm had been worked on all match. He's trying to use the other arm for power stuff and doing all these different moves, but he kept selling the arm throughout the entirety of the match. And finally, he's just, the guy's just the superior technical wrestler, knows how to pin him down and uses that weakened arm to put it down the shoulder for the pin. I love this match. This might be a match that, like, at the end of the year, like, I know some do like a top 10 match of the year ballots. I might just put it on there just so people can go see it. I really, really love this match. And again, McRae, you've been seeing the progress on his Instagram posts. He's been getting great shape, like really putting on muscle, and he looks fantastic. He's somebody that, you know, as the years have gone on, like, whenever you saw him, you could tell he had the size and the height and whatnot, and he had the wrestling ability. Now it was just making sure that that total package kind of came in, and he really honed in on it over the last little bit. And he looks really, really good. So I loved it. And of course, you know, as a Japanese pro wrestling nerd, Lee, Jonathan Gresham came out to Mil Mascaras' song.
Come on.
Yes, Sky High. And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm like, I think only me and 2 other people know why he's coming out to this song. And I've seen it, and I'm like, this is whatever happened in AEW with Jonathan Gresham. I'm like, I'm so glad he still loves pro wrestling, that he's coming out to Sky High. And I'm like, oh, this is such a great song and whatnot.
I love those when you have moments like that, not a lot of people are getting them, but you get it.
Yeah.
And it means something. Yeah. Love that.
I love those little things. So that's my go-to match for everybody, is to go check out, is that Gresham and McRae Martin match. Other matches, because I know we've gone pretty long here, so I'm going to try and not go too much longer on the C4 show. But I want to make sure I get enough time.
Well, I mean, make sure you go another 2.5 minutes to get to 3 hours.
Yeah, make it a 3-hour show, just as long as a Monday Night Raw. But I think we are better than Monday Night Raw, though.
I think so.
I believe people will tune in for that length. Other matches, the Blade versus Mathieu Saint-Jacques. That was more of a brawling style match. They went to the outside. Blade grabbed the trash can and threw it at Mathieu Saint-Jacques, but it was a plastic can. So like it made a hole and then went boop. And then he grabbed it back and then he hit him again and made a hole. And then went poof right back. I got a kick out of me.
Okay.
But a fun little brawling match. Got the crowd into it as well. Other matches here, Violence is Forever against Northern Thunder.
Okay.
This was a match I was really looking forward to, especially because, obviously London Lightning and his brother Storm Rider. And I can tell you right now.
His brother's better?
I don't think his brother is better at this point.
Oh, probably, though. Like, potential.
He's got potential, though. I will say this.
Potential. You told me that you think that Storm's going to outdo London.
I did not say that. Don't put that on the record. Don't put that on the record if London's
I thought you told me that.
I will say this. I think Storm does have a scent coming for him, though. I think London's very good, and clearly, obviously, AEW's keeping an eye on him and whatnot. But in terms of like my wrestling style, and I've chatted with Ryder about this, but he is trying to do some emulating of Scott Steiner 92 in his matches.
God, that's all you need.
And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like, and he's incorporating more suplexes into his matches.
Violence is Forever is just amazing. I love it.
Yeah,
One of my favorite independent teams.
And so well worked too. Like they did a good job setting a pace here. I obviously there's still some room to grow when it comes to Storm Rider and London Lightning. But they're still very young. Like Storm Rider's like 19, I think. So there's plenty of time. London, and obviously we've said a lot about London. Like again, he's getting scouted by AEW and getting looks. And I know you're trying to stir the pot here, Lee.
Listen, I'm just telling you that you are the one that 19 years old. You're like,
He looked good though.
Little brother could be better.
I saw Storm Rider in his second or third match, and I was like, he was taking bumps that I did not expect somebody who's having their second or third match could take.
Who won, Zach?
In this case, it was Northern Thunder that got the victory.
Really?
They got the victory over Violence is Forever.
Okay.
Which I was like, I like this.
That's a big win for them.
That is a big win. I really like Kevin Koo. I think he's such a tremendous wrestler.
Yeah.
And the chemistry he has with Guarini, like, I think it's fair to say Violence is Forever is the top tag team in independent wrestling. I think that's fair to say. Koo is, I think, older than you would think. I think he's in his late 30s. And Guarini is also around that same age. So you're not going to, like, if you ever get brought into an AEW or this rebuilding WWE tag team division we keep hearing about, which would...
The same division that had Montez Ford go out one-on-one with Seth Rollins?
That's right. That one. And the one that released the Motor City Machine Guns.
Right.
But nonetheless, yes, Northern Thunder got the victory. Lee, I want you to read this graphic, and I want you to read the name of this graphic and what kind of match this is.
It's a 4-corner match.
That's right. It's not a fatal 4-way. It's a 4 corners match. I'm just saying.
Well, why do they need to be in the corner? What if they were just
they occupy
like
each corner? There's 4 guys in each corner.
Why in the corner? Why wouldn't they just be on each, like in the middle of the rope?
4 ropes match?
Yeah, they'd still be.
We just call that a standard pro wrestling match.
Perpendicular to each other.
It's a 4 corners match.
It's getting late, Zach.
Anyway, this was more on the, and I mean this in a good way, Spotfest side, where like all these guys are getting their stuff in. This was like an interesting combination of Arrow Boy from Mexico, Gabe Fuerza, who I think is tremendous. I think that guy's great, and keep a pin on Gabe Fuerza for this. Junior Benito, who came out, cut a promo and saying, I'm out of the title mix, but I'm going to work my way back in. And there were a little bit of elements of the character I saw in Acclaim in his promo a little bit.
So what you're saying is he's not as good of a guy as you've all told me that he is.
I'm just saying I recognize some elements. Who knows?
Oh.
Who knows? We'll see. In his promo, and Marcus Mathers, not Eminem himself,
not Eminem,
but I wonder where the inspiration was for that name. Marcus Mathers, another WWE ID prospect that's been signed. This was a very good match. This was like each guy getting their stuff in sort of deal, but it was fun. It was like a good fluid spot fest. You know what I mean? And a lot of these guys, and again, Gabe Fuerza, like Junior's great. Marcus is very good. Arrow Boy, I was seeing from the entranceway, he has all these scars. I'm like, I think he's worked a couple of death matches because he's got all these scars.
the door made up for Arrow Boy.
Yeah, that's right. That door was also utilized as well. But in the end, Gabe Fuerza gets the victory in this matchup, and put a pin on that for later. Other matches.
How much later?
Well, that's going to be the main event, Lee.
Yeah, soon later, though?
Soon later.
Okay.
Other matches I wanted to mention, Layla Wilde and Alexia Nicole. I still believe Alexia Nicole could be on a TV product today. As I was looking at it more, I wonder if it's because she's short.
Yeah, she's not big.
Yeah, like she's not a tall, like that's really the only thing that, like, to me, I don't see why she can't be on a TNA or even at AEW at this point. But Layla Wilde is somebody I think I mentioned to you before. This is her main card debut. She was on the dark match previously. I am somebody that believes she's, I think, the same age as London, maybe a year younger, but she is somebody that I would also be keeping an eye on the women's side. She is somebody that, like, has got a look, got great power moves, and also is very athletic. I think more matches like this, and just keeping on, getting matches in, I think she's going to get better and better. Chris Starr has always been very good. I was a little disappointed with Nikki XS. She was somebody that came in, I believe this was her C4 debut. I I didn't feel like she was really locked in with some of the other wrestlers with some of the moves. I wasn't as impressed. I was a little I actually kind of came away a little disappointed with that. But the match itself, like, was a solid match, and it's stuff, especially with Layla Wilde. I think she's going to be somebody in this industry as she continues to grow and develop. And then just making sure I've got all the other matches here. Got the Sheldon Jean. So yes, let's go to the main event. Sheldon Jean taking on Puff. And I believe that is all the matches. And this was a match that it's your C4 main event, so you're gonna have like your it's like no holds barred, essentially, for lack of a better term.
Yep.
And in this case with Puff, like, he incorporates some of his comedy aspects. So like, I was right beside the guy that was holding a pair of Crocs, and he took the guy's Crocs and started beating up Sheldon Jean with the Crocs.
Mm-hmm.
So there was the Crocs. He took like a box of food and then like hit it over Sheldon Jean as well.
What a waste of food.
I know. I could have used some of that. But yeah, Sheldon Jean. This was what you kind of usually see from a C4 main event in terms of like hardcore elements and having it be more of a chaotic brawl. One of the big things that kind of came out at the end was Sheldon Jean did the concerto to Puff at the end, like did the whole at the end, and that helped to get him the victory. And then he was trying to attack Puff at the end of the match and trying to get more heat because Sheldon Jean's a heel. But Gabriel Fuerza comes out to make the save for Puff. And then he picks up the C4 championship, takes a look at it, and it looks like we might be getting a Gabriel Fuerza versus Sheldon Jean match
in the season finale.
At least that is the tease that we got. So
okay.
Overall, though, it was great to be back in the venue. It's funny, like, we have it so good here in Ottawa in terms of like the quality of, and I know I work independent shows, so I might be a little bit biased.
No, but between Remix, Acclaim, and C4,
the quality of in-ring wrestlers that we have here is just unreal. The fact that, like, I was standing there and looking, I'm like, man, like, especially that Hot Stepper and Gresham match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, the fact that this is happening here on Preston Street in downtown Ottawa, in Little Italy, I'm like, man, we do not, I hope people don't take it for granted what we've got here. So very good show. It was a lot of fun. Again, I would highly seek out that Hot Stepper versus Jonathan Gresham match. That was a lot of fun. And if you have IWTV, you can obviously subscribe to them and watch the show there. But overall, it was a good time. I had a good time chatting with some folks there as well. Some folks that have also told me they'll be listening into this show to hear the review for the C4 show.
Okay, good.
So
glad we got to it 3 hours in.
Yeah, 3 hours in. They had to take 2.5 hours of our AEW review, but nonetheless, no, it was a lot of fun, and it was good to chat with the folks there as well. Again, it was been a while since I've been there solo for the Preston Event Center shows, and it was just good to be around the fans and hearing the reactions, and yeah, it was just a good time. And so season finale coming up on June 19th, I believe. Any
word on like people coming in for the show?
Not that I'm aware of. I didn't see a pamphlet get sent out personally. I don't know if they had put stuff on the chairs or whatnot. I didn't see it. But I haven't heard anything about potential names that would be on that show. So
June 19th, though.
Yep.
Man, there's so many good things coming up.
Yeah.
Like, it is really exciting with all the things that are coming up. Like, just even in Ottawa and Montreal, right? Like,
yep.
Because I've been told I'm gonna make you go. I'm gonna make you sit through it all. I've been told that we're gonna have a spot Monday Night Raw for This Is Wrestling.
Oh boy, there you go.
So
you're gonna get fired up. I will be fully in my new man gimmick at that point.
Oh yeah, like listen, if you can get through, Clash in Italy doesn't look too bad. Saturday night's main event, we'll talk about it on another show.
Yeah,
but they have, man, they got a couple things coming up that I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna.
We shall see for sure.
I don't know how Zach's gonna become a new man.
Even in the AEW show, it tested me. I didn't expect it with Stadium Stampede.
Yeah, and then you rated it like your best show ever.
I know. Well, it was one of my I thought this is a show of the year contender at the end. I really did.
Well, yeah. Look, a lot of their shows are show of the year contenders, the way they've been pumping them out.
Yeah. But this one was like, I don't think it's the greatest AEW show of all time. Like I saw some, but I do think it's in the upper echelon. I think it belongs there. Certainly one of the better Double or Nothings I can.
Yeah. See, again, my problem is, and not to go back to it. Look,
yeah.
And this is a little bit nitpicky, but the best matches on the card were not at the end of the card. Like, you go back to Revolution, and it's 46 minutes of MJF and Hangman Page with his, title shot on the line for his career and all that stuff. That's at the end. Like, a lot of this stuff, second match, amazing. First match, good, like really good. But like second match, incredible. It's kind of like the fifth match and the sixth match were really good. But then like 7, I don't know. That's all. It's just like if you went to like what was great about the card, it should build towards the end. And I didn't think, I don't know, Stadium Stampede and Kevin Knight turning heel as the last two things that happened. I'm like, that's all.
Yep.
But it was good. Again, you get a little bit nitpicky because things you love, you want them to be great all the time.
Yep.
And you want them to be better. So it's still a great show.
Yep.
This was a great show. 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Marathon stuff.
Oh, man.
I might separate the C4 review.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good
feed, so.
I think that's probably a good
gives me
idea.
an excuse to put Sky High into the intro for one of the
you better work hard this week to get a buddy texted me.
I don't know, I'm so busy, Lee,
and said this is wrestling.
Yeah. I'm so busy, Lee.
I know you are, but that's what makes you great, Zach. it's peaking at times where you're too busy to think and you're still able to get it done.
Yes.
All right. We appreciate it, Zach. Another visit to the Palatial Estates.
Mm-hmm.
We might even have another one before you take off.
That's right. I'm here this week, so give me the call and I'll make the trip down to the Palatial Estates.
Okay. Very good. We appreciate everybody listening. Yes, we're going to separate the couple of things here on the show, but we have lots more content. We thought we'd be doing even more, but we won't be doing it anymore tonight.
No.
It'll be another night.
Yeah.
But we still have, the Hogan documentary stuff is still to come. We still are going to do Saturday night's main event and kind of a preview of Clash in Italy, which is coming up this weekend.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah.
It looks like a better card than
it looks better than
Saturday night's main event was like,
Saturday night's main event. We'll talk about it. But
but we'll do that. So WWE fans, don't worry.
Yep.
I got some positive things I think about Clash in Italy. We'll see.
Yep.
The fact that it's in Italy.
That's the positive.
Well, yeah, I love Italy.
Hey, Santino Marella can make an appearance.
Oh, I love Santino.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the Cobra. You love the Snake Charmer bit with Great Khali, and he's getting up.
I think the way they brought Santino in to beat Umaga.
Yep.
It was okay.
Yep. John Cena.
He's a funny guy.
I do get a kick out of the people purposely mispronouncing the name like Jericho did back in the day.
Yeah.
Listen here, Tony Schiavone. John Cena.
John Cena.
Roddy Piper.
I'm going to ask you about TNA in the next show as well.
Oh, okay.
I watched a full episode of TNA.
Wow.
I know, right? Like,
and you survived it. Wow.
I can't promise NXT's next, though.
Oh, I was going to say.
No, I can't promise
NXT is
that.
my line. I don't know if I could do NXT.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
John Cena Classic coming up soon.
Yes.
All right. So for Zach McGibbon, I'm Lever Sage. We appreciate you very much being with us on another live edition of This is Wrestling.